I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes.
It's the old
He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Yeah. Got them lions in the building. Yeah. Why you lying to the children? Yeah. Why you lying to the children? Yeah. RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been to bed. Man, they know they no contest. Yahoo, he do the blitz. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing hard with big manotas. But my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, will not hesitate to get retarded. Oh lordy, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he farted. He running to the hills like a Philistine. G-Hawk hitting Hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the ratchet team. JJ 7000 to the debate league. I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. He respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother. Ballin' and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Michael got the raw, Shaq and Willie. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, arms open wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as the realest, yeah. Death by cut, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. Why you lying to them children? Yeah. RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been there. Yeah. Man, they know they no contest. Yeah. Yahoo, he do the blitz. Wow, what's that? Why didn't they take it over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's
yeah. Erwin Neal said Lions is building. That's right. Welcome to the Lions Den. My name is JJ 7000, the most feared debater on this goddamn planet. Sit your ass down, because I know you can't stand it. That's right. You see the goddamn title, man. We got a guy turning into goddamn Carl Lewis and goddamn Hussein Bolt. They had a love child and they called him Cedric Ortega. Said you got some goddamn explaining to do. Don't no Lions Den champion do no goddamn response video and he clapped back. Nah, that ain't what we doing. Now there's an ultimatum that we got set up here: either debate or relinquish the belt. You got to do something. Like I said before we get into that, man, I want everybody to hit that like, share, and subscribe. Peace to Sister Karima. She jumped off, so if she want to say something, if not, we're gonna get straight to the point, to the Argument King. Go ahead, Aki.
Hey, peace, shalom, shalom, all that good stuff to the people, man. I just want to point out, everybody saw the other night when we had Cedric Ortega online, after I already whooped him in the last debate we had on Lions Den, but it wasn't for the belt. So now he's scared and running when he did a whole presentation on Lions Den, talking about stuff. We had a whole conversation, but the moment JJ did one fact check, he ran up out the building, and now he don't want to debate no more. This dude done got into the chat talking about, oh man, I don't want to debate you no more. I don't want to debate you. What I need to debate you again for? Talking about he won when everybody done told him you completely off topic in the debate. The debate was about which gave better evolutionary utility, religion or atheism. Nobody argues atheism has this great evolutionary utility, which is why he ran the secular humanism. He knows I know the difference between these things. He knows I can pinpoint where he going off and stuff on. So now he just running and hiding. And all I'm saying is, why? What you ducking for? You supposed to be the champ. Why is the champ running and ducking? I don't get it. You want to know why? Because he don't want to defend that belt. And if you don't want to defend the belt, you got to relinquish it and let other people debate for it. You can't just hide behind, oh, I got the belt. Oh, I'm A-side. I'm this, I'm that. Nah, man, stand up, stand strong, and debate. What you think, Jay? I mean, this your platform. Is your championship. Do you feel like your champ should be running from debaters?
Hey, that's what I told him, man. I said, man, you messing up the Lions Den tradition. There has never been a running champion, ever. In the long line of Lions Den history, debate champion, not one is running around here running, man. Or even refuse to defend the belt.
Running around talking about methodological naturalism. That's what he was talking about. Naturalism, man. That's the only way we can know about the world, as if logic and reason can't give us knowledge or something.
Go ahead, Sister Kareem.
Y'all already know what to do. If you like the information that's presented this evening, please hit the like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done something. I brought that out. That's what he was speaking on. He's trying to confuse people, and then put that title, but really that's what what he's bringing out is speaking on that, not really debunking anything.
Yeah, he just trying to teach his position, which I ain't knocking you, bro. Get out here and teach your position. You should. No one's trying to say don't get out here, teach your position, and promote your position. You should do that, but you should also be willing to defend it. You can't get out here
talking about stand on it. But the reason why he set it up like that, where he don't have to stand on it, because he's, suggesting and putting out there, he's not standing on anything. He just saying, well, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. That's the type of stuff he brings to the table. But he don't want to stand on it and debate it, or at least, stand on something of it. Like, okay, if you believe that God, don't exist, then okay, what part of that you want to stand on? You just putting out what other people are putting out, and never minding trying to stand on it.
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's the same stuff. You can go and hear any atheist yell and cry about the same stuff philosophers was talking about 10 years ago, a decade ago. He trying to regurgitate that to our people, which again, I don't have no problem. I feel like, you got to have some type of scholarship behind what you're doing, but you got to stand on it, baby. You can't sit here and tell us that consciousness is part of the material world. And when I say, hey, let's just do a debate on whether consciousness is a part of the material world or is a separate part of reality, now he want to run. Now he don't want to debate no more. Why? Because there's too many scientific philosophical positions, which is a combination of both, that show that. You got panpsychism, which a lot of atheists are moving to now, which says that everything in reality has a bit of consciousness to it. Or you have what's called dualism, which is what I adhere to, which is the position that consciousness is a separate entity, separate part of reality from the physical world. That's what I believe. And I think that there's a lot of evidence that would substantiate that, like what I brought up during the time, the hard problem of consciousness. If consciousness is irreducible to the physical world, then it got to be something separate from the physical world. He don't want to talk about that, though. He don't want to debate that, though. He wants to try to get me to have, like you said, a back and forth online. Yeah. I make a video, he make a video style thing, so he can try to get everything that I'm thinking and everything I might say and build up a retort to it instead of stepping in the ring and just standing on what he believes. I mean, what are we really here for? Are we here to debate or have long drawn out videos going back and forth? Which one are we here for?
Right.
And I'm ready to debate because we already done seen, JJ. You done already seen how certain members, I'm gonna say certain members over there in the other league want to do everything they can to try to keep me out the league. I seen the message they sent to you. You know what I'm saying? I seen that message. Them sitting there trying to down. Now I come on your platform. I don't down talk them. I defended them on your platform until they came at me, right?
Right.
And then we did the whole $50 video as if just because they gave me $50, I'm supposed to not be able to go to no other platform and give my views on stuff.
Come on.
And then after I believe we squashed that, and we gonna move forward in debate. What he do? What he send to you? Let me pull it up and read it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, read it, man. What the
man
heck?
sent to you? I can't. I'm sitting back like, dang, man, you go on your platform, talk about how cool we is and all this other stuff. Now we don't talk like that, but I thought we was cool though. It ain't like we best friends or nothing. But then you want to go out there just because he got a problem with you, he got to bring me into it, right?
What they
I'm just gonna read the part where he brought me into it, right? He was like, plus said is the Lions Den champ. He kicked the dog shit out of you and Silky. Then he said, just crown James Cassel with a participation trophy as champ for his fuckery, like you always do. Have you ever did a tournament for a champ, or you crown a sucker you like, right?
Right.
Why is he bringing me up into this? Huh? Well, if their thing on the platform is they just want to promote debates, right? Why do they have problems when people review the debates? Maybe it's because it highlights, I'm not going to use the word they want to use, but it highlights BS on their side, right? You seen when I brought out that this man, they champion, who they held up and championed up, brought out Watch Mojo as a scientific source. Now, I've never seen anybody bring up Watch Mojo. This is a website about TV shows and movies, right? That's what it ain't a scientific website. It ain't a scientific source.
Wait a minute, who did that?
That's what Pan did. That's why I said we should have did round two. Because we would have did round two, we would have been laughing harder than we did round one. Because in round two, I exposed how this man used Watch Mojo as science to talk about interdimensional travel. So what TV show you got that from? Because that's what all is giving you, synopsis of TV shows and stuff. It's not a scientifically accredited source. But they sitting here trying to knock what's going on over here. And I'm pretty sure they got him said ill and was like, hey, don't debate him, said. You ain't got to debate him again. Come on over here. See, they sitting here trying to pilfer your debaters instead of just letting us debate on both platforms, which is what I thought we was going to do, right?
Right.
Shouldn't that be what you do? You let people debate on both platforms with no beef. A review shouldn't matter, should it? I mean, if the information was good and should have stood tall, and as long as it took them 3 days to deliberate. I'm just saying, if it took you 3 days to deliberate, you should have rewatched that damn debate and seen this nigga using Watch Mojo and The Conversation, which is nothing but a blog site, as sources. Come on, so all I'm saying is you ain't gotta come and try to come over here and knock the debates that's going on over here.
Right.
We can debate on all the platforms, right? Shouldn't we be free to debate on every platform?
They scared though to come over here. They scared.
And I think they just hating at this point and don't want nothing going on over here and trying to drag everybody away from over here, bro. When they should be free to do whatever they want, man. We grown men, free men. We ain't slaves.
Right.
But that's what it's come down to: ducking and dodging James and running over there to a platform that they feel like is vehemently against me, and which the members who moderated, I can say nothing on DMG. DMG came to me personally and said he felt like I was an asset, and I'm always welcome to debate on that platform. But Ratchet feels like, I'm on fuckery just for doing reviews now.
Right. He got two bozos helping him run the platform. That's the problem. And then we got 3 guys who have never been in a debate in their life. Between them 3, they got 2 debates combined. Come on, man. They don't know how to run no debate league.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is that people who run the debate league shouldn't be so heavily involved with the disputes between debaters to where they get caught up in it. That's what I'm saying. I could have swore that was a position they were saying that they held against you, right? That's what they were saying. They were saying, "Oh, well, we feel like JJ get involved." But if you feel like that, why are you turning around doing the same thing? You just doing it behind scenes. JJ real enough to be like, "Hey, I'm against that position," in front of the screen. That's the only difference I see.
And that'd be after the debate. You don't be doing like when anybody debate over here. I don't state my position.
Now you didn't. I've had 2 debates on your platform within the last few months,
right.
And never once did you interrupt saying, "Oh, I feel like this person right, this person wrong." If you do anything for one person, I've seen you do it for the other. And if you hype up what one person said, you'll hype up what the other person said.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't really get that. And what I want to do is see debates happen. Now, I don't care what platform it's on. I want to see debates happen. I freed up my time purposefully this year in order to be able to do more debates because you asked me, not because of them, because you asked me. Now, they did ask me to debate before, but I was busy all that time. And even you know that I was busy. So, but then when so I free up time. They see me debate a couple times on your platform. So now hey, come over here and debate. Come over here. So cool. I debate. I won the first one. The first one was won hands down. Dude ain't have a presentation or nothing together. Of course I won that one. But then we do the second debate and I just do a review of it. Now they mad and they crying.
Now they don't make sense. Right.
Now they don't want to say it.
Be able to go anywhere and show the people his work and show the people why he thought, his sources of reference was important in that debate and or whatever. Why would you go around flagging people's channel, telling people don't come over to the Lions Den and fool with JJ and Karima? We wicked people. I mean, come on, bro. That shit ain't right. And that's it. Cedric ain't answering the phone, y'all.
Yeah, because he know you running.
Hold up, man.
Everybody, man, you seen the comment sections and the conversation after we had that back and forth between me and him. Everybody talking about he running. He was out of it. He was out of his league. I was talking smooth over his head. He didn't understand what was going on. Everybody seen that.
I mean, that's what they said, Cedric. I'm not picking no sides in this. I want you to feel that way. But even Kyle didn't even know James Cassel was in the back chat. And what did he come back there and say, James?
He said I was whooping up on him.
He said that James guy, he didn't know that James was back there. He said, man, that's that James guy. And then James got to beating up on him.
Hey, but I think Cosman cool though. I want to put that out here. I don't have no beef with him or nothing like that. It was just, it's information. That's what we do, man. We debate. We try to see where people stand and see if we can set up a debate or not. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think we did have a good conversation, me and Cosman. I hope we can set up that pan debate.
I was getting ready to say that, man. Don't let them slip through the cracks. Let me call this guy. Keep talking.
Yeah. Maybe we can get that pan debate going since Sid running for the year.
Explain. It said you got. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You got 24 hours to respond. If not, we're gonna have to relinquish the belt, and I'm gonna put James up against Silk for the belt. That's just what it is. And they already came up with a topic.
I don't want nobody to say it was handed or nothing.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. Cause man, So. Let me Cosman though. He said that hey Karima, Cosman said the animals named themselves.
The first cow was named Moo.
Yeah, the first cow name was Moo.
Hey, the first dog was named Roof.
the first wolf was named Wolf. I said, wait a minute, those dogs go Wolf? No, they go Woof. It's a difference.
Hey, I think it's kind of why he's saying that Pan is underneath Japan. Ain't that what he said? Is in the water underneath Japan.
Let me call this guy. Whew, God, my funny. Hell. Said it? Yeah, no. Now I see you drop down. Well, now you go on Messenger and you can see somebody and see your message because they little emoji drop down. Now he peeking in the bushes, y'all. Hold up. God damn, shit. This is not a good look, bro. This is not a good look. Look, ain't that? Look.
Yeah, that's all. All I'm saying is if you got the belt, defend it. You know what I'm saying? Whether I agree with the results of my debate with Pandemus or not, he defended his belt. He didn't duck, he didn't run, he did not hide. And we just asking you to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But JJ, you think you're gonna be able to get Cosman on real quick? Oh, he probably calling them right now. But yeah, man, like I said, man,
I'm gonna call him right now.
Bet. Cause we trying to get debates going, man. Without all the go ahead, bro.
No, I just said they running.
Oh, okay, because we want debates devoid of all the super trolls in the background. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that go on in that group. You know what I'm saying? You don't agree with something, they just start trolling away. It ain't no debates on information no more. It's just pure troll sessions in these groups at this point. Yeah. They trying to play gatekeeper to the versus league and stuff. They trying to run motherfuckers off, so they don't. Excuse my language. They trying to run people off, so they don't want to debate no more. Like that's gonna run somebody. No, like I said, if y'all trying to debate, I'm trying to debate. I don't care what platform. Versus league.
No, he didn't answer.
Yeah, versus league, Lions Den, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to debate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here trying to duck or dodge nobody.
Right.
But they steady trying to duck and dodge. But I think we can set up that debate with Cosman. I don't think he's gonna duck. I think he just got to get his ducks in a row.
Yeah. Let me call one of Cosman teachers. Hold up. Malachi McAbee. Hold up. Let's see this guy.
But what we gonna do, JJ? You gonna do like you said? If he don't wanna,
he got no choice. I told him, man, he got 24 hours to respond, man. And then what's her name over there? Talking about he already champion. He got a degree. He don't need to debate nobody that don't have a degree. I'm like, how do you know this brother ain't got no more education? You know?
Yeah, that's silly. That's silly.
I did 5 years of schooling after high school. I got you know what I'm saying? I'm a journeyman. I went to apprenticeship for 4 years. We did with math and goddamn algebra and shit and angles and shit, geometry. What the fuck?
That's just an excuse to duck. That's all that is, man. That's an excuse. When have you ever heard that in these back chats before? Oh, a dude need to have a degree in order to debate. When has that ever been a stipulation in a debate? That's duck tactics. They just trying to duck. That's all. Mm-hmm. Look, okay, why he debate me the first time then? If that's a requirement to have, since he say that he don't know what I got a master's while we at it, but he don't know what I got in business while we at it. But he don't know what I got. He ain't got no master's degree. He might got a bachelor.
Right. And it ain't like he got a degree in you know, the topics or what are we talking about? I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, and degrees are highly specialized. That's important to know. They highly specialized to a certain subject matter. Just because you have a degree in something like communications or something, don't make you a scientist. It don't make you a philosopher. It don't make you a physicist or an astrologer. It ain't none of that. You good in the field you in. Just like I can't bring a master's in real estate and still start coming out talking about this master's in real estate justifies me to go out and start debating about science. That don't justify my scientific debate. My choice is justified.
Shit. Right. Make it make sense.
To stand for what they supposed to stand for. If you the champ, you supposed to stand up and debate all contenders that come your way. You ain't supposed to duck and dodge, man. That ain't a champ. That's a chump.
Hey, hold on. Whoa. Hey, Frequency for the Future, jump on. He said he'll cook you, James. God damn.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know, the number 2 contender over here, man. I don't know what you got.
Hey, let him come on up and cook me then.
Yeah, put the link in the chat.
What you trying to talk about, Frequency?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna click it. That's that chat talk.
That's that chat talk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. I'm the realest dude in the YouTube chat section. That's what he is.
Oh, okay. One of them fellas.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to come on up, they can come on up and see. But I don't think it's gonna be no what do you say? Cooking. Ain't gonna be no cooking over here, homie.
Right.
At best, we can have a good conversation.
High frequency.
Look, he want to know what the topic. He don't even know what the topic is. He gonna cook me. The topic is whatever you want to talk about. Frequency.
There you go.
If I don't know nothing about it, I'll just come out and be like, look, I don't know nothing about that subject. But if I do, be ready.
Yeah. Did you see Cedric's 3rd installment video that he put out?
Nah, ever since he told me, I think you was in there this morning in the chat. Yeah. And yesterday, not yesterday, day before yesterday, when he disappeared off of it and started talking about he didn't want to debate no more. I kind of moved it to the back and was like, hey, look, if we gonna debate, we gonna debate. I'm ready to set it up. But now he's ducking and dodging and all talk.
You want to pick in on his 3rd installment and see what he's talking about?
You got a clip from it?
Yeah, I got it. But we can get the video and see what he's talking about. Just a couple 5 minutes, see what he out here talking about.
Okay, bet.
All right, keep talking. Let me find it. Hold up.
Okay, while he find it, man, we're going to go ahead and analyze this video, see a little bit of what he's talking about, if there's any subject matter.
Yeah. High Frequency said he coming on too.
Go against it. Naturalism is the only way to know truth and stuff. That's called scientism or empiricism. And that has been categorically shown to be ridiculous because science can't prove everything. It just can't. And to sit here and act like science can prove everything, it's pseudo, bro. Like, for instance, one thing science can't prove, which he ended up agreeing with me the other night. Science cannot prove or disprove a God. He said that the other night. So why, if they know science can't prove or disprove a God, why are they constantly asking for scientific evidence of a God when they know it can't prove or disprove it? It shows they being pseudo. They trying to use science outside of its scope. Science tells you about the natural world, not the supernatural world. Come on now. When Aristotle came up with metaphysics, he said metaphysics is what you do after you finish doing physics. Physics is the exploration of the natural world. Metaphysics goes beyond that. That's why these dudes don't like talking about metaphysical concepts and stuff like that. They try to sweep it away and act like it's irrelevant when it's a well-substantiated part of academia. Well-substantiated. You got whole papers written about, scientific papers written about metaphysics. Right. And its applications. But now all of a sudden, these metaphysical principles don't matter because they actually highlight that it's possible that a God exists.
Right. Now they don't want to deal with metaphysics. That's crazy.
Now the opposition, like the what's it called? The multi-universe theory. That is a metaphysical proposition. That is not science, bro. At all. And I called him on it, and he admitted it. He admitted it when we was talking. He was like, nah, it is more of a theoretical thing and stuff like theoretical in philosophy, not in science, though. Just because you make assumptions about other universes that would be like our universe don't mean them other universes are real. You can't prove them. You can't give me one scientific test that proves there's another universe. But you promote that, but then you'll deny a God, which is a simpler explanation, right? In anything, you go with the simplest explanation that does the most explaining, not a more convoluted explanation that requires an infinite amount of assumptions. Think about that. A multiverse requires an infinite amount of assumptions when a God requires one assumption. And that one assumption makes it far simpler than an infinite amount of assumptions. But you got that video ready, bro?
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, I was listening to you. Hold up, yeah. Let me get this nice. No, I ain't gonna even say that. Hold up. I said I ain't gonna do you like that. Let's see.
Frequency say he coming. Give him a sec. Okay. Get a little dialogue going.
He must be some kind of scientific guy, I guess.
Maybe.
This high frequency character. I want to see some of these high frequencies in the debate. That's what I'm looking for. What was the pseudo killers? He said he got three installments, y'all. That's funny as fuck.
He don't want me to debate him, but he want me to refute each of his videos, though. Come on, man.
Yeah, he want to do the style. Destructing the Divine, Part 3. Oh man, this is heavy right here. Hold up, man. All right, he destructing it, deconstructing it. I mean, hold up. Present, share screen. All right. Okay. Now, can y'all see that?
It's coming up right now. Oh, there you go. We can see it.
Okay. Now look. All right. Now look. I gotta run to the gas station, so I'll be back in 15 minutes. So I ain't gonna be able to stop it. Okay. So just gather what you're gonna say. I'll be right back. Y'all hear me? Y'all there?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, bet. All right.
Yeah, but how you gonna stop the commercials?
Oh man.
You can't play that when you leave.
They got commercials on pseudo killers, you think?
And there be commercials on the videos. When you play the videos, you gotta skip it sometimes.
He's showing. I thought he was just running his mouth.
On any video you play, you're gonna have a commercial where you have to skip the.
No, I'm saying he got commercials. Hold up. All right. All right. I'll go after the show then. Yeah. Okay. So hold up. I'm gonna go after the show. I should have got my little rap before the damn show. All right, that's all right. All right. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, I see it and hear it.
Make it bigger. Let me skip that.
An individual entity, but as a symbol, the con. As soon as my screen is sharing, we will get this show underway. There we go. So We stopped off where we was discussing the impact of Sigmund Freud on understanding the concept of spirit and soul in a modern context. And a shout out to Joel. Yes, he had some very outlandish ideas. And you heard also that his concepts and philosophies are banned from being taught in modern psychology. Now let's continue with his student who followed him, Carl Jung. While Sigmund Freud was more focused on the material and unconscious aspect of the psyche, Carl Jung, born in 1875 and died in 1961, approached the spirit from a more symbolic and archetypical perspective. Jung believed that certain aspects of the human experience, such as spirituality and religious imagery, could be understood through the lens of universal symbols or archetypes as part of the collective unconscious. Archetypes and the collective unconscious. Jung's theory of the collective unconscious proposed that there is a shared pool of memories, experiences, and symbols that are common to all humans. He argued that certain archetypical symbols, such as the hero, the shadow, and the spirit, emerge from this unconscious realm. These symbols represent fundamental human experiences and are expressed through myths, dreams, and religion.
Hey, pause it real quick.
I'm still here.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say something real quick, man. Carl Jung, though he is used in psychology, Carl Jung is a writer. He writes literature, right? His psychology is important as far as a literary device. And talking about literature, when you can have someone who uses his, I'll say psychology on it, like Jordan Peterson, but still believes in a God. So what I feel like is going on now is he's giving a partial view of the views on this, and he's cherry picking those that just specifically support his point of view. Again, Carl Jung is not a philosopher. He's not a scientist. He is a writer. All right. So let's make that clear. I don't see why he's trying to use him to promote this subject as if he is the definitive authority on the subject and no one else can come against him.
All right.
Spirituality and religions were expressions of
you got somebody on the
psychological processes and archetypical motifs.
Huh? Somebody on the panel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cosmic Chris, it looked like 9.
Let me stop sharing for a minute, y'all.
Yeah. That's frequency right here.
Oh, okay, you were saying you
JJ know me.
Okay, you were saying you was
the other name you got?
Frequency for the future. If you ain't subscribed, go subscribe to the channel. I drop constantly. You feel me?
Oh yeah, I know his brother right here. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, what did you want to discuss with me? Because you were saying you would cook me.
I'm just looking for a debate. I'll cook you on anything, my boy.
For
real, I heard you just
real
quick,
Cosmic. I can run the story real quick.
Okay,
we got it, JJ. Go ahead, Cosmic.
I heard you just say something about God. Our science can't prove God exists. That's crazy talk.
It can't prove whether God exists or it doesn't exist.
That's crazy talk.
Okay, what scientific method can you use to prove God exists or don't exist?
Well, if you accept, should I put this? How do I word this? If you accept energy and all of us being energy, then you have to, you should accept quantum physics.
I have no issue with quantum physics whatsoever. I'm still not seeing how this proves or disproves a God.
Okay. Now, if you did research and actually dove into quantum physics, you will understand that it all really comes back to the electromagnetic spectrum and how that thing operates and governs life on this planet and life far out.
Are you saying that the electromagnetic spectrum is the cause for all that exists? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm saying the electromagnetic spectrum is most likely God or the closest thing we got to it.
No, but I can see you are definitely a Naga. But
What's that?
what I would say is that when you deal with the electromagnetic force, right, that actually doesn't come into existence till after the Big Bang, the electromagnetic force. So that can't be the cause of the Big Bang if it doesn't come into existence till after the Big Bang. That doesn't make sense, sir.
Ooh. Ooh, now why couldn't it be the cause of the Big Bang? Now, I'm gonna ask you just real quick. Do you believe in the Bible? I know JJ do. So are you like a Hebrew or something like that? Do you believe in the Bible?
Uh, I'm not a Hebrew, but I believe that it is one of the good spiritual guiding systems. Yes, is one of them. One of
So
many.
you're what? So you do believe in the Bible? So you're like a Christian or
No,
something?
I'm a deist. I am a deist. I don't believe in any religion, but I do believe that different religious books do give us good moral grounds to build upon.
Okay, that's cool. So the Bible says, what did God say? He's when he made the universe, he said, let there be light, right?
Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth."
And then what does it say?
Then when you go further, the next one it does say, "Let there be light," but God has already created the heavens and earth by that point.
But did it say God said?
Yes.
It said God said, let
Let
there
there
be
be
light.
light. Yes.
Now, if you understand anything with quantum physics and the electromagnetic spectrum, it's
But
sound
that's after
waves.
the Big Bang, though. The Big Bang would be the creation of the heavens and earth, sir. That would be verse 1. That's the creation of the heavens and earth. The heavens and earth is all that exists. It is the universe. So the universe is already here before let there be light.
Right.
So how can it be the cause of the universe if the universe is already here at the point when it says let there be
But
light?
did you not just hear what I said? It's not just like that. It's sound waves. It was already here.
Well, you brought up quantum mechanics earlier, right? When you
Yes,
deal
that's
with,
what I'm
I
referring
got
to.
you. That's what I'm about to dig into it, right? So when you deal with the first dimension, what is that? The third.
I
Mhm.
from my research, I would say it's a certain angle.
Well, no, it's actually frequency, it's sound. That's the first
Right.
dimension. The
Right.
second dimension
Which
is
is
a
just a
two-dimensional plane.
different angle of light from the electromagnetic spectrum.
Well, I mean, I don't see how a sound frequency is light.
Well, it's easy. What's the first thing on the electromagnetic spectrum? It's
Well,
radio waves. It's sound. Then what's the second? It's microwaves. Third, infrared radiation, which comes from the sun. 4 would be visible light.
okay, let's bring this up because I think you're having a big problem. All right. So when we deal with, let me pull up this chart real quick that shows the beginning of the universe and when electromagnetism comes into being, because I think we have a big problem here. I'm not on my computer, so let me pull it up real quick. Electromagnetic force.
But can you acknowledge that sound waves do become light once they reach the first part of the
Notice what you're
electromagnetic
saying.
spectrum,
Once
which is
they
visible light?
reach, you're saying once they reach, but the
Yes,
free,
it's different
but
frequencies.
but
The
it
frequency
requires. Wait a
go
minute.
up,
In order for
it gets
that to
to visible
happen,
light, and
notice
then it
what
gets to
you're
ultraviolet
skipping.
radiation,
You're
then it gets to
skipping
X-ray, then it gets
steps.
to gamma ray.
I get you, but you're skipping key steps, right? In
Okay.
order for it to be anything, the wave function must first collapse, right? In order for it to be anything, you must first collapse the wave function.
No.
What is a singularity then if it's not a collapse of the wave function?
You started breaking up.
No, I'm saying the singularity is the Big Bang, and it's a collapse of a wave function. You brought up
And
quantum
what is the
mechanics, so why are you
electromagnetic
running from it now?
spectrum? And what is the electromagnetic spectrum?
That is
It's
all
a Big
after
Bang.
that
It
all happens
started. Listen,
after the collapse of a
no,
wave
no, no,
function.
no. That's according to the
Okay,
Bible. Come on, but
then
no.
show it. No, 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 no,
It
no. You
said
trying to run?
it's
Look,
according to
I'm not.
radio
Look,
waves. It
why are
went
you trying
from
to run to the
nothing
Bible?
to radio waves. That's a
Why
Big
are you
Bang.
running to the Bible? I want to know that question first. Why are you running to the Bible for everything?
Oh, because I know JJ. I thought JJ was a Bible guy, so I thought I
That's
was on the Bible
JJ. You're not
platform.
debating JJ.
I'm on his platform. I'm on the Bible
But you
platform.
talking to me though.
That's what I. Listen, you asked my intent. That was my intent. I thought I was on a Bible platform, so I'm trying to.
But you
speak on
asked
things
me
that
already,
might
and I said I'm a
resonate
deist
with y'all.
that don't believe in any certain religion. So to try to push a certain angle towards me makes no sense. I'm a deist.
It wasn't to push an angle. It was to reference something that might resonate with y'all.
Then
I just said that.
Okay, then reference science. Let's not run. We're talking about science now. Let's not run to a Bible that's not a scientific manuscript.
I'm doing both. I went from a verse, and I'm talking about quantum physics,
So
which is
I want the
very
whole
important
crowd to
part of
notice
science.
this. I want all the people to notice this. Me, James, am a deist. I don't sit here and push that any specific spiritual literature is 100% accurate in any one shape.
You just did though. You just tried to say because the heavens and earth was said before let there be light that
because you
I was
asked
wrong.
about the
you
Bible.
Just literally did that and then contradicted yourself.
No, I didn't. I listened very carefully. Before I ever mentioned the Bible, I said very clearly, I'm a deist. I think I said the Bible is good literature for moral principles to build off moral principles. Moral principles ain't wave functions. It ain't quantum mechanics. It ain't none of that.
But it is, and it's something that you can relate to. It's something that we all know, and I said it as an example. It is an example. That was my intent the whole time.
But if you don't stand on the book,
I chose to use that verse to convey my point. It was just extra to my argument.
I get you, but what I'm saying is, hey, you're talking to someone who does not sit here and lift up the Bible as the unequivocal word of God. So
that doesn't mean I have to change the way I teach.
But to come to me with that angle and try to emphasize that as the point in which we must build for, that's an irrelevant point to me personally, because I don't believe that's a point.
Bro. The world don't revolve around you. I wasn't doing that just get to you. I was using it as an example.
He said, everyone could see when I was up here talking, he said, I'm a cook James.
I'm cooking right now.
So he came up to speak to James, but he's speaking vicariously to JJ, I guess. If you want to debate JJ, talk to JJ.
I'm speaking to whoever's watching.
And bring up the electromagnetic spectrum, bring up quantum mechanics and all these things we should talk about. Let's go there. Let's just sit in the quantum mechanics.
Let's do it. Cool. You just said that it's not light. Right, cool. I just told you that's the fourth frequency on the spectrum, light. You just said
that does not exist.
The Big Bang couldn't be the electromagnetic spectrum when I just broke down to you if it went from nothing, silence, to a radio wave, sound, that's a Big Bang.
Not actually. That's the issue we have right here. The Big Bang is called a singularity for a reason. It's called a singularity because it's alluding to quantum mechanics and the collapse of a wave function. Now, I'm just going to stick to the science right now. There are multiple interpretations of that, what could cause the collapse of a wave function. One thing we know for sure that causes it is measurement. Measurement in the same way that a human mind measures things. That's why the Copenhagen interpretation of consciousness causes collapse requires consciousness to exist to collapse the wave function. Now, you can say, hey, it may be some other objects. It could be two different wave fields coming together and somehow collapsing. But the reasonable question to that is, where does the wave function, where does these fields, where does any of this thing actually come from?
From the electromagnetic spectrum.
Before an electromagnetic spectrum exists? Can you tell us exactly
how can you tell how can you prove that it never existed? How can you prove that at a point in time that it never existed?
Because it's called science, right? When we look at science and we look at the Big Bang.
What part of science? Science is broken up in branches.
When we look at science and we look at the Big Bang, what we clearly see is the electromagnetic force comes after the weak force is already substantial. So if the electromagnetic forces Big Bang, believe it's weak force. Then you get to electromagnetic force after the Big Bang. Why are you jumping to the electromagnetic force to substantiate the Big Bang when it don't come till 2 or 3 layers later?
That's not true.
Okay, then
Things
give
don't
us a
start
source right
until
now. It's not
atoms.
true.
Until everything is made of atoms, bro. Things don't start until atoms start vibrating, and what causes the atom to vibrate? That's basically the conversation we're having right now. What will make a atom start vibrating? You said the wavelength breaking down or whatever. It's whatever will make that atom start vibrating, and it's definitely more than just a collapse or something. It's thermal energy, electromagnetic radiation, and mechanical energy. Those are the three energy sources, or that literally started all of this. It's that started the universe. It's the only way to make an atom start vibrating to collapse the atom, basically.
Okay, and you steadily saying the
because that's the electromagnetic radiation is one of the only ways to collapse an atom.
Can I read this real quick? Okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read multiple sources to you, and I'm gonna tell you what the sources are. Okay, this right here is the early universe from the Los Chambers Observatory, and it says the electromagnetic force is one of the 4 fundamental forces that emerge after the Big Bang. It is thought to have separated from the electroweak force during the quark epoch, which occurred shortly after the Big Bang. Why are you disagreeing with science?
Because I don't know, I'm disagreeing with you because I think you're interpreting what you just even said wrong. I don't know if you want to repeat it again, but you said it's when it's separated, right? You said you said it except you said when it's separated from the weak force.
If you let me, I'm gonna read it again. The electromagnetic force is one of 4 fundamental forces that emerge after the Big Bang. What did I read wrong there?
I get that. No, keep going. No.
I'm gonna stop right there.
I hear what you. I hear it. I hear it. Look, but you contradict yourself, or the article contradicts itself right after.
Did he not say that it was before the Big Bang and the cause of the Big Bang? But what I'm reading says it's after the Big Bang. Is that not true?
It's still. It was a part of the weak force. You didn't get to the sentence yet.
Can I get a source?
You are reading the source. I'm dissecting your source. You just said that it had to separate from the weak force after the Big Bang. That means
no, I didn't say that. No.
I mean,
you're wrong.
That's the very next sentence. You stop reading. That's the very next sentence.
Hey, what is the quark epoch? Watch this. Watch me prove him dumb. What is the quark epoch? Because it said it happened during the quark epoch. What is that?
I said that.
No, that's what I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna read it all the way through again for you because you obviously cherry picking what you want to hear. One of the 4 fundamental electromagnetic forces, one of the 4 fundamental forces that emerge after the Big Bang. It is thought to have separated from the weak force during the quark epoch, which occurred shortly after. I'm gonna emphasize after again to you, the Big Bang. What are you talking about, dude? You said it before.
Which means that it was always here, and then it separated after.
How is
the
after
Big Bang?
Always here? How is after always here if it's after the Big Bang? This is
you
stupid.
just you say you're saying it came after the Big Bang. It was there before. You just read that it was a part of the weak force, and then once they know we no longer need the weak force because we no longer needed the weak force because. From what you said earlier,
we
God
still
made the heaven and the earth first.
What do you mean we no longer need it? We still have the weak force. What are you talking about?
Why is it called weak?
From it, which means it's
why is it called weak,
bro?
Why is it called weak?
Electromagnetic weak force. Look, this is the issue we have. I asked him when was the quark epoch. The brother didn't answer it, so he wants to try to deflect to another question to not answer my question. When was the quark epoch?
Well, first of all, I didn't hear that question, and second of all, I'm not afraid to say I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You got to break it down to me, and then it might jog something in my mind. But I didn't even hear that question. But I don't know. Oh,
magnetic force.
I don't know.
All right, got you. So as everyone can hear, he doesn't even know the time in when the electromagnetic force separated from the electroweak force. So he don't even know.
Nobody knows when that
Wait a minute.
happened.
Let me. Hey, look. I'm trying to. You saying nobody know? I'm about to read it. So be quiet, real quick.
All right, that's
The
cool.
quark epoch was a period in the evolution of the early universe, which means the universe is already here. It's a period in the evolution of the early universe when the fundamental
When
interaction
was it?
between gravitation and strong interaction and weak interaction had their present forms. So it began approximately 10 to the negative 12 seconds after the Big Bang. So quit saying it's before when everything keeps saying after, after, after.
I had a phone call. I listen. I hear what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say, but I'm going off what your source said. Your source said that it was a part of the weak force, and then it had to separate itself when it no longer needed it because we were going on to the next evolutionary phase of the process. So I get what you're trying to say.
Did it say it's after? Wait a minute. Did it say that it already existed, then
It says that
separated from the weak force? Did it say that?
it says it. Yes, it says it separated from the weak force. If you separate from something, that means you were already. That means you were present. And then you're not with it
As we
anymore.
can see right now, people, he didn't know what the quark epoch was.
I didn't have to.
He didn't know when the electromagnetic force
You
first
don't know when.
emerged.
You don't know when. Give me a
He
date.
just up here crying and throwing out words like quantum mechanics because he thought I wouldn't know about it. That's what he did.
No, listen, we
Because
can really set up a
as
real
I
debate.
peel
I'll really
back,
cook you with some sources
as
at
I
any given time. You
continue to
tripping.
peel back the layers, what we keep seeing is the brother is wrong, wrong, wrong. I'm reading source.
I'm
to
not
this
wrong just
man.
because you say I am. You're wrong. You
That's what the
said
source.
that
So now the
there's no.
source
First
is
of all, you
wrong.
said there's no light on the electromagnetic spectrum.
I didn't say
And then
that. Why are you making up
yes, you
lies now?
did.
When did I say there's
Anybody can
no
go back
light
and
on
watch
the?
the video. You said
Look,
that.
no, what I
That was the
said,
first
what I said
John
is
you
we
was
ain't
wrong
even
on.
got there yet. I said we ain't even got there yet because you're trying to put it before the Big Bang when it's after.
No, I'm
That's
not.
what I said. I said all that does anybody can go back and play the video over. I said all of that doesn't matter until after the Big Bang when the electromagnetic force emerges. Electromagnetic force. That's what you said. You didn't just say simple electromagnetism. I would have gave you that. But you said the electromagnetic force, which is something particular and separate. So that's
I said
on
the
you for saying
electromagnetic
that.
spectrum. Any like we said, you talking about what I said and all this and all. We could go, like I said, anybody can go back and watch the video and see who said what. But that's not the case. The case is you said science cannot prove that God exists. Can or cannot prove that God do or don't exist. And
Yes, I said that.
and I said basically God is basically the electromagnetic spectrum. So
yes, that was your argument. And I went to point out you were saying, hey, you said electromagnetic force. Anyone can go back and look at it. I keyed in on it when you said that because I knew that was wrong. And that's why I went in and showed that the electromagnetic force does not emerge until after the Big Bang. There is no electromagnetic force until 10 to the negative 12 seconds after the Big Bang. That's what the science says.
How do you get a Big Bang? This is crazy. This is really crazy. How do you get a radio wave? How do you get a wave? It don't just come instantly. It has to build up. So no matter what it said, the article you read said that it had to separate. No, the buildup was the weak energy. It was weak. It was building itself up, and then it boom. It made itself into a radio wave, which was the Big Bang.
Got you. Can you show us? Can you give us a source that shows the weak force existed before?
Sure, I'm on my computer. I can. You just gotta give me a second. I gotta do a little quick Google search. That's cool.
Do your thing, boss.
What do you want? Say it one more time. You want the weak force? Or come on.
I want you to show me that the weak force existed before the Big Bang.
Your source just said it. Got you. I got you.
You find it yet? Because I'm still in the same source. I don't have to change sources for this. Okay, while he's still searching for the moment, same sources I used before. This is the early universe from the Las Chambers Observatory. This is the source I'm using. It says the weak force, along with all other fundamental forces, is thought to have emerged after the Big Bang. In the earliest moments of the universe, these forces are believed to have been unified into a single force. As the universe expanded and cooled, the unified force separated into four fundamental forces we know today: gravity, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and the electromagnetic force. This is all after the Big Bang, bro. Nothing exists before the Big Bang. Nothing. Exactly, indigenous black man. If the universe existed prior to the Big Bang, there's no need for a Big Bang. That's facts. What do you need to bang out a whole universe for if it's already here? Come on, that don't even make sense. I guess he deep in search mode. I know you probably looking for a source that can confirm that, bro, but you ain't gonna find it, bro. I'm starting to feel like my screen froze. Did my screen froze? Or he still there? Oh, he did. I seen him move. All right, I'll wait.
Oh, anybody there?
I'm still here. He trying to find a source that would substantiate that the weak force existed before the Big Bang. Hello? When it don't exist.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, JJ.
Okay.
Right now, he's looking for a source to validate his claim that he can't find, but I've already found a source that proved him wrong. And it's the same source I started with. And I'll read it again. The electromagnetic force is a force that emerged after the Big Bang. It was part of a unified force with a weak nuclear force shortly after the Big Bang, known as the electroweak force, but separated from it as the universe cooled and expanded. So even the electromagnetic electromagnetic force is after the Big Bang. If we go into the weak nuclear force, is after the Big Bang. If we go to the electroweak force, is after the Big Bang. Everything comes and emerges after
which is
the
still
Big
a
Bang.
theory. Which is still a theory.
Okay, now it's a theory. So is quantum mechanics, my dude. Everything in science is a theory. When we get down to it. So what are you doing now? You're a science denier?
No, right, cool. But you said I was 100%. You said I was 100. You said I'm wrong. I've been wrong on this. Wrong.
You are
now,
wrong.
Can we agree everything is a theory? That's hilarious.
No,
I'm sharing my screen right now.
Wait a minute. Does a theory mean it's false?
No, and that's what I'm saying. But you said I was wrong. What do you mean?
Well, then give me a source that says you're right. Hey, look, notice the difference. I go after source after source, showing what I'm saying is true. He can't find one source to support him, so he tries to say, "Oh, it's a theory." Wait, he tries to say it's a theory in order to try to get away from what science says. This dude done came on here preaching science and became a full science denier.
Science says this. You're not smarter than AI. You're not. And this is if you want to know, you just type in the electromagnetic field before the Big Bang on Google, and this is what pops up. The concept of the
notice he changed the word from force to field.
You asked for my source.
Notice you changed the word. You changed the whole damn topic. We ain't talking about the electromagnetic field. We talking about the electromagnetic force. force, nigga. Why you
You
changing?
changed it. First of all, I said the electromagnetic spectrum, which is in conjunction with the electromagnetic field and force, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about the same thing. I'm talking about the same thing. That's called. Bro,
Okay,
you're playing
pull
with
it up.
words. That doesn't
Run it
matter.
back to tape right now.
You
Run it
asked
back
for the
on your
source.
screen.
Now I
and
pull
play
up a
it.
source that disagrees with you. Now all of a sudden,
You didn't
it's
pull
this
it. Okay,
and it's that. Can I
what's your
read it?
source?
You
Watch
wanted
it,
me
watch
to
it.
find one so
What's
bad. I
your
was
source?
wrong. Can I read it?
All he said was, "Hey, you're not smarter than AI," which I would beg to differ. I will stand strong and say I'm smarter than the damn AI. I will stand strong and say that. Because I done
I debate
correct
you
the
on that
AI
too.
too many
No.
goddamn times for you to tell me I'm not smarter than
That's
AI.
fine. That's fine. Like I said, the world don't revolve around you. That's cool for you and your ego. Can I read the source you asked me to go get?
Yes, go ahead and tell us what the source is and read it. Go
The
ahead.
concept of an electromagnetic field before the Big Bang is a topic of ongoing research and speculation in cosmology. While the Big Bang,
Speculation. This nigga brought speculation versus
that's fine.
the actual scientific theory. This is what I'm talking about. As
Wait,
pseudo.
hold on.
These
You
look,
contradicting
these
yourself.
damn atheists. Look, these people get super pseudo.
He just said, can the theory be no?
Let him finish his source, and then y'all go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're right, Karima. Go ahead.
Anybody watching? He just said, "Can the theory be right or can the theory be wrong?" Come on, now he's backpedaling now. I'll start over. The concept of an electromagnetic field before the Big Bang is a topic of ongoing research and speculation in cosmology. While the Big Bang theory describes the universe expansion from an incredible dense to hot state, it doesn't fully explain what existed before the initial expansion. Some theories propose that quantum fluctuations or other quantum fields might have existed before the Big Bang, potentially including forms of energy or fields that eventually led to the formation of the electromagnetic force. Exactly what I said.
Look, notice what he said before the electromagnetic force. Now he changed it from force to field to try to get around and circle. Look,
that's
you
not how
got
you
a
win
chance to
debates.
read your
By
source.
playing
You
with
said
words.
I can respond when you was done. So let me respond, bro.
Yeah, let him
That's
respond.
not how you win debates. By playing with words.
You was muted.
We can set up a real debate, and I'll cook you anytime, any day with sources.
Hold on.
Now I can't talk.
Hold on, James. He allowed you to present your information. Now let him.
I'll mute my mic.
Okay, cool. Now, what happened, and everyone can see it, we went from talking about electromagnetic force, the weak force, and things to going to electromagnetic fields. Fields, this is two different topics. These are two different topics. And he's trying to merge the two to justify his lies. Now, I'm going to go back over his lies. He lied and said the electromagnetic force was before the Big Bang. He lied and said the weak force was before the Big Bang. But now, because he can't find one single source that substantiates those 2 points he made, he jumped all the way back to an electromagnetic field, something that is speculation. He read it. Nothing that I read said speculation. What I read said theory. A theory are facts. That's the issue he has. A theory are facts used to explain something. That's what a theory is. Now, if a theory is full of facts and not speculation like the brother brought, the question is, why is he bringing speculation to combat facts? Don't make no damn sense. You got the floor, brother.
Okay. A theory, supposition or a system of ideas intended to explain something, especially one based on the general principles independent of the thing to be explained. No, I didn't see the word fact in there. Not one time.
Scientific theory, since you're
oh no, I'm reading the definition of theory. I'm reading the dictionary definition of theory.
Got you. So let me read the dictionary definition of a scientific theory, because you purposely did that because you know we're talking about science. Everyone here knows that we're talking about science. Now, I'm going to read this. A scientific theory is a well-substantiated...
No, you just were wrong.
Wait, brother, let me read it. A well-substantiated, not speculation, a well-substantiated explanation of some aspects of the natural world based on a large body of evidence and repeated testing. That's what a scientific theory is. That's what we're talking about right now.
That's science. A method. That's a method. You're testing. That's a method.
Look, why won't you do it then? Since you have the screen right now, put in scientific theory and bring it up. What it said.
Got you.
You just shared your screen a minute ago. Do it again.
Got you.
Now watch this. Do it. Bring up the screen while you do it.
All right, I'm sharing my screen right now. Cause I see words in here that you did not say.
Okay. Is it sharing yet? I still don't see.
I'm sharing it right
yet,
now. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Okay.
Hey, that's on the host.
It's coming up
there
now.
We go. In science, a theory is a well-substantiated explanation of some aspects of the natural world. You didn't say that. Supported by a large body of evidence and repeatedly tested and confirmed through observation and experimentation.
Okay, so is that not vastly different than the blank theory that you read?
I'll give you that. It's close to what you said. I'll give you that. That's fine.
So wait a minute. So it has testing behind it. It has evidence behind it. So it's not just some random theory that you're just pulling up out of the air.
Right.
And it's disingenuous. And it's disingenuous for you to present it as a plain theory and not the scientific theory that it is.
Listen, man. All I'm gonna say is to that, it's been tested. That if it wasn't tested, if it wasn't already tested and theorized, they wouldn't have gave. Listen, it could get. I don't even want to say the word because it's a stigma on that word. So I'm gonna try to avoid it, but like, fuck it. It could get pseudo in this genre, right? Because y'all gonna just call it pseudo anyway. But no matter what, they wouldn't never gave melanin a freaking earth element code. Basically a periodic table. Melanin wouldn't have a chemical formula. Like it wouldn't. If it wasn't already tested.
Weak force, strong force and shit. What the hell? You just want anywhere right now.
Listen. Oh my goodness. Because obviously, like I said, it could get pseudo or whatever, but we're obviously, you know what I'm saying? The natural people. We're obviously the first people. I teach we're the first people on this planet. It's a fact. So if we were the first people on this planet and we came through from God was making the planets and the earths and all that and the people, we came from, I'm saying melanin has a whole chemical formula, and that shows you that they studied how everything got here because we got here. We're a part of that. Not everybody has melanin. There's a reason why we have melanin. It's the reason why they say melanin is condensed sunlight. It's a reason why sunlight is on the electromagnetic spectrum. It all ties together. They have done their research. This is tried and tested for sure. If it wasn't, they would never have gave melanin.
Okay, let me ask you this question: Is something tried and tested equivalent to something that is speculation?
Yes. Why wouldn't it be? Because
come on, speculation ain't been tried and tested, bro. It's speculation for a reason. It ain't got no
what you
evidence
mean?
to support
You start with the questioning and then you test it.
Okay, so
I see what you're. I think I see what you're trying to say.
You brought up the electromagnetic field. That is something that is a speculation. What testing, what evidence do you have that supports that as a scientific theory, bro? Not a speculation, not scientific speculation, but a scientific theory.
What about? Hold on, I'm confused on your question now. What do you mean about the melanin or about the quantum physics?
Let's go back. Okay, you said that you brought up. What did you bring up? You brought up the electromagnetic field, right? And it said in your source, it says that it's speculative. To try to equate something that is speculative to a scientific theory is the most disingenuous thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. I'm just being real with you. Because they're vastly two different things. One is based on empirical evidence, testing, and substantiation. Something they can test again and again and again to show that this right here is the results we get every time we test. When you're talking about speculation, bro, when you're talking about speculation, it don't involve testing, brother. It's speculation.
You're playing with words. It's more than obvious.
So now speculation don't mean
synonyms. Are they not synonyms? How are they not synonyms?
What words are synonyms?
Yo, this man.
No,
You're
repeat
cooking me
it.
right
You're
now.
saying
This
how are they not synonyms? What 2 words are you saying are synonyms?
But bro, you just said
He don't
testing
even
and
know.
speculation. You just said testing and
I never
speculation.
said
are not
testing
the
was
same thing,
speculation, bro. You're wrong. I never said that.
Yo, you chill.
Bro,
You just said that. You're playing with words and you can't even keep
you just
keep
hearing
track
what
of what
be
you're saying.
equated. I said speculation cannot be equated to something that has evidence and testing behind it. That was my whole thing. That's why I asked you the
If
question
you're testing something, you have a
that's why
speculation
I
on it.
asked you
The
the
test
question
is a
of, can
speculation.
you
If
show
the
us?
test fails,
No, notice what
then
he's
you do
doing.
it
He
again.
talking over me. Can I finish
basically
what
you
I'm
run a
saying
different
without you
test,
talking over
a
me?
different speculation. It's a synonym. You're playing with words and you think you're winning,
Speculation.
but you're
All
not.
right, show that right now. Pull it up on your screen and show that.
Show you what? You want me to show you that they're synonyms?
Now, I want you to show me that a speculation and a scientific theory is synonyms for the same thing. Go ahead.
This is outrageous.
Because I'm pointing out the difference between
You want me to pull up
scientific theories and speculation, but you're saying they're synonyms.
What is going on right now?
Because you getting bodied. Look at him. He begging for it to end.
Yeah, this is crazy.
He up here getting fried, died, and laid to the side right now. That's what's going on with him. Look how he rubbing his chin. He don't know what to do. Earlier, he took a 5-minute break to find a source about something he arguing about. Now he trying to argue that speculation and scientific theory
and talking
are
about
synonyms.
me. You're
This
not
is the
breaking
most
down
pseudo
nothing
shit ever.
scientific for real.
All right, I'm gonna pull
really
it. Hey, look, let me look it up. Let me look it up since you won't look it up.
Please do.
Is speculation and scientific theory the same thing? I'm gonna do like you do. Just use.
Is that
AI.
not crazy to you?
All right, no.
Typing that in the search bar, is that not crazy to you?
Can I read the explanation, or you can pull it up on your own screen, right? It says no. Speculation and scientific theory are not the same. Speculation is a guess or a hypothesis, while scientific theory is a well-supported explanation for natural phenomenon that is based on extensive evidence and testing. In science, a theory represents a robust and well-established explanation, not a mere guess like your damn speculation, nigga. So why are you lying again, bro? How many times you gonna get caught lying before you run your ass off this stage?
Bro, this is crazy. The fact
Then
you had to
pull
put
it
that
up
in the
yourself,
search bar
brother.
is
Pull it
crazy.
up yourself again right now. Is speculation and scientific theory synonyms? Pull it up right now on your screen.
I'm not doing that.
Because you a pseudo and you know you lied. That's
bro,
why.
it's frivolous. We're talking about
I know you already Googled
right
it and
now.
saw you was wrong, so you won't pull it up.
God. Bro, it's frivolous.
I have to disagree with you there, indigenous black man. A theory alone, let me say this, a theory alone can be said to be that, but a scientific theory is something completely different. It ain't belief, brother. It's backed by substantial amounts of evidence. And that's why this brother will not read the differences between a speculation and a scientific theory. But I'm gonna do it one more time for the
I think we need to set up a real debate.
Let me finish real quick. I'm almost done. I care about y'all. I care about truth. So I'm gonna read it to you. Speculation and scientific theory are not the same. Speculation is a guess or hypothesis, while a scientific theory is a well-supported explanation of a natural phenomenon that is based on extensive evidence and testing. In science, not in just regular theories, but in science, a theory represents a robust and well-established explanation, not a mere guess. Speculation is a mere guess, bro.
Okay. Like I said, that's frivolous. That's a waste of time. I don't know why you're going on about that. Like
because you said they were the same and you lied, and I wanted to make sure that people
I didn't lie, and they are the same, bro. You know exactly. Like, come on, bro. That's
pull it
crazy.
up. Hey, look. Notice what's happening. I say something, I go grab a source and prove it. He say something, and then when after he got proved wrong last time, now he's scared to pull it up.
But you're not proving the topic.
I'm gonna go to
you're
my computer and pull up my screen. Give me a second.
I'm about to go to my you're not on topic.
Pull up my screen.
You're not on topic. You like, this is crazy. You cannot prove that.
I am on topic. I'm gonna say that. Let's go here. You were the dummy who said they were the same.
You cannot prove that visible light and ultraviolet radiation doesn't govern everything.
The argument was about the weak force. It was about
No, it
the
wasn't. No, it wasn't. The
electromagnetic.
argument was about the electromagnetic
Okay, let me know
spectrum
when you're
being
done.
God. The electromagnetic spectrum being God. You're just going everywhere talking about irrelevant stuff. I'm gonna let you have it because that's not what we're talking about. I'm gonna cook you every time on that. The electromagnetic spectrum is
Look,
God.
all he's
And that
doing is
science can
deflecting
prove
from my.
that God exists. I will cook you every time. All the
Got
other
you.
stuff I'll let you have. That's nothing.
What's happening right now is we started an argument and he got called out on every false statement he made during the argument. And his only response to being called out for his false statements on subject is that I'm off subject for calling out his false statements. Now, the brother still has not pulled up and shown y'all because he's so disingenuous of a human being that he won't even show y'all that he's wrong. He won't even show y'all that he's right. This is the type of man we're dealing with right now. He won't even show it. But again, right now,
I
I'm
didn't
logging
show
into my
two
computer.
sources already.
I'm
This is
logging into
crazy.
my computer right now. I'm about
Please
to pull
do.
up. I'm about to pull it
Yo,
up. Then
JJ,
I'll
we
be
gotta
able
get a
to
real
go
debate because
live
I
on the
really,
stream
I'm going to
and show
destroy this
y'all.
man in front of your whole little people. I'm like, this is crazy. If
Hey,
he could stay
look,
on topic.
only thing you've been doing is being proven wrong, sir, and a liar. That's the only thing you've done so far.
No, that's you, bro. You literally said,
Brother, you the
this
one who
nigga,
said that the
you're
electromagnetic force was before the Big Bang. You said the weak force was before the Big Bang. Then when I brought out that you actually brought up speculation versus a well-established scientific theory, you said they
did
were
it not just
synonyms for one another. But you still won't pull it up and show the people that it's synonyms because you're a liar. You are a liar, sir.
because it's common sense. I don't have to pull it up to
Look,
know
now it's
that
common
a
sense. He
speculation
pulled up
and
a
then
source
testing
earlier.
something that you're speculating. A test is speculation. I tell you, if like what
Let me
you
just
wouldn't be
focus on
running a
pulling this
test,
up.
you would not have to run a test if you already knew the
But
100%
once you
answer.
run a
You know what I'm
test, it
saying?
ain't
A
speculation
test
no
is
more, Dumbo.
speculation. There's tests that fail. That's why it's speculation. Like, come on, bro.
Once you
It's
run a
common
test,
sense. But y'all just
it
fucking
ain't
playing with me.
speculation no more, dummy.
Hold on, bro. Let me go back. Listen, you can call me dumb. You can say insults all you want. Like, I don't even know you. Like you calling somebody on
Well,
YouTube dumb.
because
Get it
because you're
together.
sitting up here lying to the
Get it
people and
together.
refusing to
Probably in
even
your
pull up the
40s. Get it
source, bro.
together.
How disingenuous can you be?
Who I put up multiple and then you're just acting like I didn't, and I'm actually going right back to it.
The only source you yourself brought up said that
I'm
it was
going right back to it.
speculation. That's the only source you brought up said it was speculation, bro. And then you tried to lie to the people and tell them a scientific theory and speculation are the same thing. You're a liar, sir. And unless you can prove that to the people right now, you will forever be a liar.
So that's what you want to debate on? That is that the debate topic? If
No, I
speculation,
want you to prove what you say is true and stop lying to the people. That's what I want you to do. And notice
all
what
right,
he's
fuck
doing.
it.
He's still
Fuck it,
dancing
fuck
around
it,
that.
fuck it. I'm bored. I'm gonna entertain it. Let me get another Google search moment. Come on.
Hey, could y'all drop the link in the chat again? Because I can't find it in the chat to pull it up on my computer, so I'll be able to share my screen as well. Because this dude been lying too much. I gotta show it.
Yeah, we got Cosmo Cows in the audience, peeking around. Jump on, Cosmo. Oh. So what are we looking for now?
All right, I'm gonna email this link to myself so I'll be able to hop on with my computer. Give me a.
Oh, okay. Everybody hit that like, share, and subscribe. Try to get this information out there. Bro, still there?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up on my laptop. That's all I'm doing. I'm pulling up on my laptop.
Okay. King J want the link. Karima, you got to go on. I don't know if you're viewing this from Facebook, JJ7K TV, but go to Lions Den. King J. Peace to Plus Beats. Sakina Rod, this is Black Man, Khalil, Omar Muhammad. Peace to you, brother, Anonymous Hebrew.
Is he still here?
Who, Anonymous Hebrew? Here? Yeah, he's still here.
All right, see now.
Yeah, I'm CBT now because I'm on my laptop. I'm CBT now, so you know.
All right, cool. Now watch y'all. Watch him say that. Now all of a sudden they don't mean the same thing. When I show my John, watch him say they don't mean the same thing. Watch this. He just be backpedaling and double talking. All right, is that you sharing your screen? Or I'll share mine next. Whatever.
Okay.
You can act like the words are not interchangeable and they're not the same thing. They're not talking about the same thing. But at the end of the day, speculation and theory.
Hey, brother, can you stop interrupting? I'm reading it right. My bad. I thought I was unmuted and I thought I was reading it. So you're not interrupting me to be fair to you. All right. Can y'all see the screen?
Everybody mute their mic.
All right. If y'all see the screen, it says right here, big as day. No, speculation and scientific theory are not the same. In science, a theory is a well-tested and widely accepted explanation of some aspect of the natural world supported by evidence. Speculation, on the other hand, is a guess or conjecture based on limited evidence or no evidence at all. So how are these two things equivalent to each other, bro? You just lied to the people, and we want to know why. You can't call nobody on the telephone asking for help, brother. Quit phoning in for help. I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you. Bring a little laughter to the platform.
It's Easter Sunday. I had to check on my kid and my family and all. But like I said, you're just going to say that it don't mean the same thing. So it don't really matter if I show my screen or not, but I'm going to show them anyway. I got two of them. But when we, like I said, the words are interchangeable, and when we talk about speculation and we talk about a theory, they're the same thing. It's the same.
No scientific theory. You keep trying to drop the scientific off of it. Look, notice what he keep doing, people. He keep trying to change the words. That's what he's been doing the whole time, and he keep getting caught changing the word because I listen carefully. I don't let people be slick. I don't let people pull a fast one over on the people. It's scientific theory versus spec. Let me share my screen again to show that I actually did scientific theory versus. Nah, you being pseudo, bro. I gotta show the people when you lie. Nah, you a liar, bro. I gotta show the people. Now I just want y'all to see. Look, I'm not finna go deep. I'm not finna read nothing, bro. I'm just finna show them right here. Is speculation and scientific theory, which I've been pointing out again and again to the brother. That's what we're talking about. So quit trying to change the words. That's all I want to do is make sure you don't change words.
I don't even need to share my screen. If you are an honest person, then it wouldn't be that hard. Put it like this: is a scientific theory a hypothesis?
No, a scientific theory is not a hypothesis. No.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm about. Hey, hold up. He just did it again, so I'm about to prove it again. I'm about to prove it is a scientific theory and hypothesis. The same thing. I'm about to show this dude is a liar at every turn. He just lies.
He just said a scientific theory is this is.
No, I said no to when you asked me the question. Wait a minute, brother. If you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna give evidence. Right? That's the difference between me and you. You ask me a question, I'm gonna answer and give evidence. So this is. No, I'm gonna share my screen again.
and lie on me.
Look, I got you. I know you hurting right now because you getting shown to be a liar at every turn. And look, what it says right here. No, a scientific theory and a scientific hypothesis are not the same thing. A hypothesis is a tentative explanation or prediction that can be tested through experiment, while a theory is a well-established explanation of an aspect of the natural world is based on multiple lines of evidence and rigorous testing. A hypothesis still has to be tested, bruh. What is wrong with you? You don't even understand science.
Playing with words. Thank you. Playing with words.
Wait.
Just because it's not tested, it's not a hypothesis, bro.
No, I didn't say that. No. You're lying again, bro. Can you stop lying? Can you stop misrepresenting me? Can you stop misrepresenting me? I didn't say that. And this is what happens every time. I say something very clearly where the people can understand me without him, but he has to reinterpret what I say through his own lens in order to misrepresent what I'm saying. So I'm going to read it again because he's very, very slow at this point. He don't understand basic English. Got you. No, a scientific theory and a scientific hypothesis are not the same. Didn't earlier he say that I wasn't smarter than AI? That's because he knows he's not smarter than the AI. That's why he said that. So when we read what the AI say, don't run now. A hypothesis is a tentative explanation or prediction that can be tested through experimentation. While, meaning that is different, while a theory is a well-established explanation of an aspect of the natural world based on multiple lines of evidence and rigorous testing. So the difference between a theory and a hypothesis is the fact that it's tested. That is what the difference is. You come on, man. You got to be smarter than this if you're gonna come up here and challenge me, bro.
The hypothesis is before. Yo, this dude. You're cooking.
All right, let me ask you this question: can you have a theory before you test it? Can you have a scientific theory before it's tested? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, show me that. Prove that right now. This dude don't know nothing. All I've been doing this whole time is proving him a liar.
It was just clear words. No matter what, if I show you my screen, you're going to say it's wrong. My screen says in a scientific context, signals for theory include hypothesis. It shows like it's no matter what it's going to show you. Every time I show you, it's going to say that a synonym for it is hypothesis. A synonym for speculation is hypothesis.
I got you. Hey, look, I will agree with you.
Listen, if hypothesis is a synonym for both of them, then we're talking about the same thing.
No, hey, look, no, notice what's going on right now. I will agree with one thing he said. Look, this is what I'm going to agree with something, and then I'm going to show where he was wrong. I will agree that a hypothesis can be a synonym of speculation. I vehemently disagree that a scientific theory is a synonym of a hypothesis or a synonym of speculation. And I've shown that again and again and again. I've even shown that a scientific theory is not a hypothesis. They are two different things. The thing that separates one from the other is the rigorous testing and evidence. So that's two different things. I also showed that speculation and a scientific theory were two different things. So why is he, without any sources, without pulling it up on the screen and showing it to you, going against science? I don't get it.
Not letting me pull up my sources.
Well, do it right now. Ain't nobody stopping you. I can't stop you. Did you stop me from pulling up my screen? Could you stop me from pulling up my screen? Hell no.
I had my screen ready to go, and then you shared yours.
Then do it right now. Go ahead. You got it right now. Go ahead.
All right. Repeat the question one more time so I can type it in the right way.
Okay. Is a scientific theory and speculation the same thing? Because that's what you've been arguing.
And when I type that in, bro, my source comes back to.
Can you show your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Master Teach Virgo. All you have to do is bring out the source.
Quick Google searches. These quick Google searches will keep telling you. I typed in synonyms of scientific theory.
Hey, whoa. Look what he did. No. He asked me what I wanted him to type in, and then he still didn't type it in. This dude's so disingenuous that it's crazy. I said, no, you said, no, what you said was A. No, what you said was A. What do you want me to do? I'm going to type it in and pull it up. But what you did,
so I know to type it in correctly. I didn't say I was typing in your question. I was typing.
Okay, go ahead. Then go ahead. Go ahead, then, bro.
You must not know the algorithm. You have to crack an algorithm. You don't do that.
Go ahead and do it.
Whatever the algorithm tells you, I'm cracking the algorithm because I have discernment. Now, if you read the damn thing, it says synonyms of scientific method. You go down. That's what I typed in. When you go down, it says in the scientific context, synonyms for theory include hypothesis.
Hey, hold up. James, you got to mute your mic when you speak because it's echo.
In the scientific context, synonyms for the scientific theory include hypothesis is the first word, bro. It's the first word. Hypothesis is an explanation, model, principle, or law, all of which represent a well-sustained explanation for a natural phenomenon. Synonyms of scientific theory. You want to see what I'm seeing? Type in on Google. Synonyms of scientific theory. You're just playing with words and you're finding anything that has what you're saying. But that's
what you did very clearly that everyone can see.
You're not using the thing God gave you. You're not using discernment. You're just going with whatever you see. But in going against your godly common sense, because common sense will tell you, bro.
Got you.
Synonyms of hypothesis.
Hey, James, when you speak, you got to mute your mic, and then when you respond, unmute it because it's a bad echo. All right, go ahead, family.
Okay, so again, this is what happens. People like to play semantics with the computer. If what he said is true, when I do this and say is a scientific theory and hypothesis the same, it should pop up with the same thing he says. This is him trying to play. No, this was him. What he did was he spent all that time there typing, looking for a workaround from actually putting up what was said. So I'm going to share my screen again and show how disingenuous this dude is. Because, hold up, brother, be quiet while I'm talking. Can you be quiet while I'm talking? Now everyone can see.
I mute my mic, bro.
So let me put in the same. Because synonym means the same. And if they were the same, it should pop up and say they're the same. But it says no to it. Big as day right here. No. A scientific theory and a scientific hypothesis are not the same. A hypothesis is a tentative explanation for an observation, while a theory is a well-substantiated explanation of a wide range of phenomena supported by extensive evidence and testing. Hypotheses are often tested and refined to become theories. See, you have to refine the hypothesis. You have to test the hypothesis for it to become a theory. Or they can be discarded if evidence don't support it. Theories, scientific theories have evidence already to support them. Scientific theories are already backed up by testing. So that's a clear distinction and difference. To try to say they're the same is disingenuous. It is by any stretch of the means. And I'm going to go even, let me grab a real, actual source. I can grab more than this one, but let's go to the difference. This is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory in scientific reason. They are two completely different things. This brother is so low IQ, he don't understand that. A hypothesis is why are you interrupting me? Look, notice he has lost all decorum. Notice he's lost all decorum and running from what I'm saying. Look what it says again. I'm going to read it again. This is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory. In scientific reasoning, they are two completely different things. A hypothesis is an assumption made before any research has been done. It is formed so that it can be tested to see if it might be true. A theory is a principal form to explain things already shown in data. Because of the rigors of experiment and control, it is much more likely that a theory will be true than a hypothesis. Why is he playing with words? I went to the Webster damn dictionary to show this nigga playing with words. Come on, explain to the people why you playing with words when the Webster dictionary tells you they are two completely different things. You look for a workaround with the AI, and I just proved the AI is stupid. Yo go.
No matter what the source you look at, if you look up synonyms for them words in the thesaurus, because that's where they actually show you the synonyms, you're going to see hypothesis for both words. They both mean hypothesis. They both do the same thing, bro.
In science, do they mean the same thing? In science.
What part of science? Yes.
Okay, let me read it again because he low IQ. Webster Dictionary says this is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory. In scientific reasoning, they are two completely different things. Why do you think you're smarter than Webster, sir?
Because I know what a synonym is.
No, all you know is that you found a workaround on AI by using the word synonym, which supposedly means the same thing. But then when I go to an actual dictionary, not just an AI, what all the AI does is summarize things it's seen on the internet and bring it up and present it to us. But when I go to an actual dictionary, and I'm going to bring it up again for the people because I like to show real scholarship, not me just running to AI and believing anything the AI told me. And as we look here, it says it. I'm going to highlight it for everyone to see. This is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory. In scientific reasoning, they are two completely different things. And then let's read it again. They tell you how and why they're two different things. A hypothesis is an assumption made before any research has been done. If you can just make assumptions before research has been done, but a theory, let's go down to a theory. A theory is a principal form to explain things already shown in data, which means you have to research to get data, right? Because of the rigors of experiment and control, it is much more likely for a theory will be true than a hypothesis. Now, because things are similar, don't make them the same, brother. That's your issue. You think similar equals same. Similar does not equal same. That equals just they're somewhat alike, brother. That's all that means.
It means they're interchangeable. It means if I want to use this word or I can use that word in a sentence, I can.
Okay, so let me ask you this. According to the definition, that a hypothesis is an assumption made before any research is done. So if we talk about something that's well established, supported by research, and according to this, that makes it a theory. Are you saying that I can interchange something well established, supported by research, with a mere assumption that no research has been done on? That's stupid. And you're trying to convince the people to be stupid.
No, what I'm saying is
because they're two different things in science.
The theory's not 99.
Okay, we're running in circles at this point.
If it's not 99.99%, then it is a assumption. It is speculation.
Wait a minute. So you just notice what he just said. If it ain't 99% true, is an assumption and speculation. That is so false. Because in order for you to even give a percentile above 50% in science, there has to be some type of rigorous testing done. You can't. Wait. What he's saying right now is you can assume something is true. Brother, can I finish? What he's saying right now is that you can assume something is true without evidence. That's what he's saying. You can assume it's true and call it a scientific theory before you ever test it, before you ever get any evidence. I don't even want to talk about this topic no more because the brother's so damn disingenuous. He's so damn disingenuous. Now, what we're going to do right now is go back. Look, we're gonna. Damn, he just talks over me while I'm talking all day, but I'm told to mute while he talks. So, but no, I'm not. I'm doing fine. What's happening right now is you running from the definition in Webster Dictionary. Do you want me to grab a different dictionary definition for you, sir, that says the same thing?
I want to stay on topic. I want to talk about how.
Notice what he's saying. I want to run from where I lied on again. But go ahead.
Oh goodness, you the one who changed course. I want to get back to how the electromagnetic spectrum is the closest thing to God. That's what I want to do.
No, what we were talking about was you claiming the electromagnetic spectrum was before the Big Bang. That's what you said. You said that the electromagnetic force was before the Big Bang. You said that the weak force. You brother, be quiet and let me finish. You said the weak force was before the Big Bang. Now I've shown emphatically that you were wrong on both points. I showed emphatically you were wrong on both points. I brought up the evidence. I even had you bring up the evidence that proved you were wrong. So, bro, when are you going to start telling us truths and stop trying to look for little AI workarounds? How about this? We don't use AI. We're only going to bring up real scientific sources from now on. We're going to bring up real dictionary definitions from now on. We don't have to use AI accumulated definitions that are just gathered from the internet and sequenced to give out one answer. We're going to go to real sources like I did. Webster Dictionary is a real source, sir. Not AI.
That's fine. So can we ever set up a real freaking sit down or a real debate or something?
We sitting down right now. We look. In order to debate me, you got to stop lying, nigga, and tell me something real. You got to quit getting caught lies, nigga. Like goddamn.
You could say that, but I'm telling you, bro.
Okay, so you want to debate whether the electromagnetic force is the closest thing to God. That's what you want to debate?
Yeah.
We can set that debate up.
I like that.
Okay. All right, JJ. He wants to set up a debate on whether the electromagnetic force is the closest thing to God. Now, when you say closest thing to God, so we can know what you mean by that. Tell us what you mean by the closest thing to God.
I mean, it governs everything. It governs everybody and everything. It governs us just like God governs everybody and everything. So does the electromagnetic spectrum.
Okay, so the electromagnetic spectrum governs human morality?
Yeah, I'll debate that. We can throw
I just want you to explain to us how the electromagnetic force governs human morality. Go ahead.
Cool. Visible light and ultraviolet radiation. That's on the electromagnetic spectrum. If you don't know what that is, that's the sun. What happens when you become vitamin D sufficient? Who's the most violent people on the planet with no melanin? Come on, bro. It's the proof is in the pudding.
Okay.
I ain't gonna give you everything. I'm gonna just cook you in a real debate. Let's have a real
Okay,
debate.
got you. Now, what we know for sure about morality is morality has nothing to do with science at all. So for him to sit here and try to make pseudo things like, hey, because people who don't, brother, can I finish? Come on, bro. Like, not one time have you let me finish a sentence. Not one time, bro. Thank you. All right. So, again, the electromagnetic force has nothing to do with morality. Morality has nothing to do with science. So to even try to make those two analogous to one another is disingenuous. Morality is a philosophical concept. It's not a scientific concept at all. Morality delves into philosophy. So for him to try to make the two the same, and I'm going to show this real quick. Morality is morality science, because that's what he's trying to say. Is morality science? And let's get a real source on that.
Look, you see how he's trying to control the conversation? This is crazy. We gotta set up a debate because that's nothing I said. I said vitamin D deficiency makes you violent, makes you.
That's fine. You don't have to rage out because I'm pointing out that has nothing to do with. What does that have to do with? Okay, explain what that has to do with morality. Go ahead.
words. You're twisting my words.
Cool. Tell us what.
That's what you've been doing all night, but that's not flying, bro.
Okay, good try to use my argument that I used against you against me. Now explain to us. Okay, go ahead, bro. You don't want to hear the question. You just want to talk. Okay, cool. Explain to us what that has anything to do with the concept of morality. Morality is about what people ought to do. Wait a minute. Morality is about what people ought to do and ought not to do. What the hell does that have to do with electromagnetic force?
Because, like I say, it's part of the ultraviolet radiation which comes from the sun. When you don't get enough sunlight, you become vitamin D deficient. When you become vitamin D deficient, you're more angry. I want you to sit here and tell me and tell the people that angry people aren't out here killing people. Angry people aren't out here living life unrighteous. Come on, tell me.
People can actually be very angry and do nothing unrighteous whatsoever. That's the whole point. People can be angry, they can be upset. Anger does not, wait a minute, brother, I'm talking. Anger does not equal violence in any way, shape, or form. Violence equals violence. Just because I get mad don't mean I'm going to do something violent. That's what he's claiming, that just because you get mad, it equals you're going to do something violent. That's absurd. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm claiming when you don't get enough sun, aka the radiation from the ultraviolet radiation from the electromagnetic spectrum, that you are prone to and more at risk for doing something violent, for doing something out of your anger. People, not everyone on this planet can control themselves, and you can say that all you want, but like I said, we're not the people who was out here enslaving people. It's the people who are vitamin D deficient. It's the people with less melanin. The proof is in the pudding. We're not out here destroying the water. We're not out here hunting animals into extinction. What do you mean? Yes, you can. Yes, that anger, that there's certain people on this planet who don't process that anger right, and it's cancer. It's becoming a cancer to the planet.
Okay, notice what he said. He says there are certain people, right? Certain people that neither one of me or anyone on this panel is. So what he's done is he said, hey, look, I want to blame white people for me failing to be able to explain how you get an ought and an is, what someone ought to do from science. Science doesn't tell us what we ought to do or what we ought not to do. Now, again, morality is a philosophical concept. It's not a scientific concept. And just because people get angry does not mean they're gonna be violent. That is an ought question. Because you're angry, ought you be violent? And I would say no. And I get angry at people every day and don't turn violent. I'm pretty sure this brother has been angry as hell and did not turn violent. So to try to make anger and violence synonymous with one another is another action of a man being disingenuous, bro. And they're right. He did do a word salad. That was a complete word salad, because anger does not equal violence. Can you prove to us unequivocally that anger in and of itself equates to violence?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to try. I'm gonna pull up a source for you, because you like to do the source. So
okay, yeah, pull up a source that says anger and violence is the same thing.
Like, why are you telling me what to pull up? I'm gonna pull up a source for you, bro. I got you.
Okay, you do it, and I'll pull up a source that asks that. My bad. And let me mute my mic while you do that. I'll pull up mine after you're done. Okay, since he's still looking for his, I got mine already. So
I got it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to proofread, but yeah, I got you. Let me put that up right now.
If he has the proofread, that means cherry picking a source, y'all.
That's fine. No, that means I'm doing this shit quick. I got most of my sources in my phone. I'm on my computer, so I'm just doing this shit quick for you because it's easy. It's real life easy. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see you, bro.
All right, National Library of Medicine, PubMed. Y'all see all that good shit right there. When you scroll down right there to results, it say of the 438 prisoners, 302, which is 68.9%, responded to the questionnaire. Crime recidivism among the study cohort was observed to be 37.4%. Mean trait anger out and anger in scores were significantly higher in prisoners with criminal recidivism in comparison to those who did not have prior criminal records. So basically, a bunch of niggas in jail is in jail because they're angry and they lashed out with their anger. No PubMed. In the National Library of Medicine.
Got you. Now, this did not show that anger equates to violence. What it shows is that violent people can be angry. That's what it shows. But hold on, brother. I let you do your whole thing until you fell back, bro. So let me do the same. That's all I ask, for equal respect. I'll let you do your whole thing. So I'm about to pull up my screen now. This right here is from the International Society for Research on Aggression. Anger, aggression, and violence. It matters to know the difference, right? And we're going to go down to the section about the differences, right? Anger is a motivation that motivates and energizes us to act. Anger can push people towards destructive behavior, such as the Charleston riots, where public protesting turned violence. However, anger can also energize people to make constructive choices, which is what I'm highlighting. Just because you're angry don't mean you're going to do something negative or destructive. You can also do something constructive with your anger. I played football growing up, right? Our coaches told us to channel our anger. If we got angry in classes or something like that, channel your anger and save it for the football field to use it constructively for the benefit of your team. Anger is not in and of itself destructive or constructive. It is the choices people make while they're angry that can be constructive or destructive. And I think that's enough to highlight my point.
And I agree with that. Like, anger is just energy, and if you use that energy for good, you can turn it into good. You can perform alchemy like the Egyptians did, and you can turn that negative energy into something positive. I do it all the time with my music, with my clothes, all that good shit. But that don't got nothing to do, right, with the actual people that's in prison. It said 68% of the prisoners who took the survey said that they were in there because they were angry and they lashed out. So that's cool. If you're strong enough to do it, that's fine. We should be. We're not the regular people. We're the conscious community. We're supposed to be the ones to do all that. These are people that's actually landed themselves in jail because they couldn't. 68% of them. Anybody can become that statistic. And it all comes back to what I said. You can't act like people, because we're not the only ones in jail. We're not. It's not just black people. I don't know if that's where y'all mind went or not, but we're not. And you cannot act like there's people who are out here are being vitamin D deficient, and then they're populating the jails as well. So,
okay, to respond to that, if I go to the jailhouse for any statistic to be violent, to be negative, it's gonna show, because the jailhouse is full of people who made bad decisions. That's the whole point. They decided to be destructive with their anger. They did not decide to be constructive like the brother says he do every day. And if he says he can do it every day, if I say I get angry every day and don't do anything destructive, then it logically follows that anger does not equal violence. The decisions people make while they're angry equals either constructive anger or destructive anger. And the jailhouse, of course, is full of motherfuckers who are destructively angry. That's why they're in there in the first place, because they made bad decisions while they were upset or they were in a hard condition. To sit there and use the worst segment of the human population, which is the people who have done crimes, to be in jail in order to justify that all people, when they get angry, are somehow violent, that people of any particular race, when they get angry, they are just violent, is just disingenuous, because you're using the worst of the people in order to make that assessment. But if we look at people in general, the masses of people get angry and do constructive things or nothing at all the time. And he even admitted that he's one of those people. But he'll try to tell you that anger automatically leads to violence. But he don't do it. I don't do it. Nobody on this panel does it. That's insane.
No, what's insane is for you to sit there and say the worst people on the planet. I chose to pick the worst people. First of all, those are people, moms, dads, aunties, and uncles in there.
Is it just me, or did the brother go out for y'all too?
As well, you can't just degrade people like that just because they made a bad decision, or you don't even know why they're in there. But that doesn't go from the fact that you tried to you would say anything to help your argument, when you know for a fact there's people out here who cannot control their anger, and you say that the mass of people can. That's not true. That's
okay, so why aren't the masses of people in jail? Because they get everybody gets angry every day.
Are you hearing this right now?
So are you telling me that the majority of the population in America is in jail?
Yes, a majority of the population of America is in jail, and that's why there's even a whole.
Can you pull that up and substantiate that?
I will. I'll get you another source. But to me, that's the whole reason why there's even people out here having the polygamy conversation. Like, there's more women than men, and you should know that if you're a researcher. There's more women than men out here right now. Why? Because most of the men are locked up. So, man, what are you talking about?
What I need you to do right now, brother, is pull up the amount of people in America that's in jail. I need you to pull that up and show it to the people. And then we're going to contrast that with the U.S. population and see if a majority of people are in jail. Just so you know, so I can be upfront before he pulls it up, the last stat I saw, wait a minute, the last stat I saw was 1.25 million people. Go ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm. I like what you did there. And I like if y'all was listening to what I said a portion, the majority of a portion of the population is in
now it's a portion. Dude, a liar, bro.
The men. I just told you that. The men. It's mainly the men overpopulating the jail, but you're right. I can show you the screen, but the screen says approximately 2 million people are incarcerated, and obviously there's 340 million people in the US.
Okay, so wait a minute. I asked you that for a reason, so I want to go back in on that reason. The reason I did that was because my statement was that if anger naturally leads to violence, then that majority of people should be in jail. You said yes to that. That's the whole reason why I said, wait a minute, that don't make any sense. Go ahead and pull up the population of people's in jail right now, which is it's less than 2% of the population. If it's only 2 million people and it's 340 million people in the U.S., that's less than 1% of the damn population in jail.
And what you're saying is the other 99 is out here controlling them?
No. What I'm saying is the other 99 have shown that they can get angry and not make destructive decisions. That they can get angry and look. You brought up the jailhouse scenario, not me. That you brought it up, not me. I would have never went to jail. Point because jailhouse is full of people who made bad decisions. Brother, can I fit? Why you do this? I mute myself when you talk. Unless I ask you a question and want to get back to my point. No, I asked you a question so I can get back to my point that I was making. And then you interrupt me. Yeah, I keep muting myself when you talk, to be fair to you. But again, I would have never went to the jailhouse in order to make the point, because the jailhouse, like I said, is full of people who have made bad decisions when they were angry. So of course you're gonna find a ton of people in the jail who makes bad decisions when they're angry. That's the reason they're in the jail in the first place. Now, I didn't disparage them because I'm saying they make bad decisions when they're angry. They're in jail for a reason. Now, if someone's in jail and they're innocent, then they don't belong there. We can all agree that. But those who are in jail who did the crimes, yeah, they make bad decisions when they're angry. So my whole point in doing all this was to show that just being angry doesn't mean you're going to be a destructive, angry person. And his only example was to go to less than 1% of the American population who is in jail and to use them, people who have made bad decisions, to try to prop up his position. But you shouldn't do that. What you should do is go to the American population at large and see if the people at large make destructive decisions when they're angry. And I stand here and will say equivocally, I don't think that the majority of people, which was my question to him, the majority of people make bad decisions when they're angry. He's given himself as an example. I've given myself an example. And I know everyone on this call, everyone on this up here on the panel right now can mention times when they were angry and they didn't do things wrong, because anger in itself is not wrong. It is a natural human emotion. What you do with that anger is right or wrong. You got it, Cosme.
But you cannot get around the fact that the people who cannot control their anger are in jail. And the whole debate that we're trying to set up is about morality and what the electromagnetic spectrum and how it influences that, right? Or something along those lines.
Well, I think the issue here is if people can't control themselves, then they can't be moral, sir. To be moral, you must have control. Okay. So let me make one more thing. To point out that there are people who are sociopaths and psychopaths does not get around the fact that just because you're angry doesn't mean you will do something wrong or destructive. That's just a matter of fact, bro. You're trying to act like anger means destructive, but it doesn't. And you even Go ahead. You can cut in. Go ahead.
I'm acting like there is quantum and metaphysical influences on people. That's the whole debate, and that's what I'm going to stick to that.
Oh, so you believe in determinism?
Say it again.
You believe that in determinism that that the firing of the chemicals and, like you say, quantum wave functions and stuff determines what we do as people. We don't have free will.
Free will you do, but that still doesn't mean that you're not being governed by universal laws and properties.
Okay, so if I'm sorry.
The universal properties influence you on a daily basis. And I use one example was to show the vitamin D deficiency.
Okay, so you're saying that outside factors can influence you. I don't think anyone would argue that outside factors don't influence you. But if you have free will and you're not a sociopath or a psychopath, anytime you get angry, there's a decision to make. I am constructive with my anger and do something constructive. I let it go and forget about it altogether, or I do something destructive with my anger. That is called a moral judgment. You using your free will to decide between these three different selections. If you select to do something destructive with your anger, it is wrong. You are doing something that is considered morally wrong or evil. If you decide to do something constructive with your anger, you are doing something that's considered good. If you decide to make no judgment whatsoever, you're taking a neutral position that is neither good nor evil towards morality.
So
go ahead, bro. I was trying to get the topic for the debate. Go ahead.
So what you're saying, what basically from what I got from what you're saying is you're saying everybody that's like not in jail or whatever, everybody has that power. Everybody can do that.
Anyone that's not a psychopath or a sociopath has complete free will. Yes, I believe that.
Okay. I'm right in accordance with you. I would say mental illness. Anybody without the mental illness can do it. But that was my whole point. Because there's mad people out here with the mental illness. So sure, you got free will and you can do what you can. But if you can't control yourself, like you said, and if you don't have the mental strength, then you won't be able to do that. And I believe that when you're deficient in some of the natural things, you will not ever be able to make that choice. So some people can say it's racist. Maybe if I say there's a certain group of people or multiple groups of people out here who cannot ever make a righteous decision or cannot ever have that morality because they are always deficient of something. I believe there's a group of people on this planet like that. So,
okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question, and you tell me: were these people who lack melanin making good moral decisions? Okay, right before the Civil War, right, you had a movement called the abolitionist movement, right? These were white American Christians who believed that the Bible, because of the human dignity that the Bible imparted on every human being, that it was a moral wrong, that it was evil for them to have other human beings, regardless of their skin color, in slavery, to the point where they took up arms and fought to help free those people from slavery. Are you saying those people who did that are evil just because they lack melanin?
No, I'm saying people like that just because they did one thing, that's fine. Now, what if you don't know what these people are doing in their private life? You don't know what they're doing. You don't know who if they're touching. You know what I'm saying? The youth.
But you said that these people can do nothing good. That's what you just finished saying. They can do nothing good. That's why I gave the example that I knew you couldn't say wasn't good. Right. Okay, if you're saying they can do nothing good, but they just did that good, bro.
You know what you did earlier. You're playing with words. I get what you're saying, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm saying they didn't make that choice. They chose to not do that, but they chose to do something else. That's not a moral decision. That's just picking and choosing what evil you want to do.
Okay, so when black people who have melanin, a high degree of melanin, when they choose to do evil things, why did they choose to do evil things then?
From having an imbalance. Simple. They're having an imbalance from some type of element that's out here to play with. Like it don't gotta be vitamin D. It can be they ate, you know what I'm saying? They got too much meat going on. They got too much testosterone, or they got too much estrogen. A man with too much estrogen, like there could be multiple things that
gotcha.
It's not limited to one thing. It's not just vitamin D deficiency.
Got you. So for white people, it's limited to their lack of melanin. For black people, I mean, wait a minute. For black people, there can be many factors. So that let me just make my point then. I got you, Chris. Let me just make my point because you made yours clear and I've been questioning you on it. So I'm gonna make my point clear. My point is human beings, regardless of their melanin deficiency, regardless of their race, skin color, are able to make good and bad decisions. I believe everyone, even myself, knowingly or unknowingly, have made bad decisions in my life. Some people would equate them to being evil. I don't think that makes me an evil person because it's a decision that I made. I didn't continuously do it. But I could never say that just because of the color of a person's skin, that is the determining factor from whether they can be moral or not. Now, you can make an argument that a lot of people have done evil things, and I could go to the fact that white people didn't have to go into Africa and capture us to put us on slave ships. They went to other black people with a lot of melanin in their skin and bought us, our ancestors, from them. That's what they did. They traded them for wine, guns, blankets, all types of different goods they could get from Europe, gold included, goods they can get to Europe in order to make a monetary gain off of another people. I think that is evil as hell. I think the people who went and bought the people and brought them over to put them into chattel slavery are evil as hell. Not because of the color of their skin, but because of the actions in which they did. The decisions that they made as people is what made them evil.
But you cannot definitively say that these people were not having some type of imbalance inside of themselves. You can't say that they weren't having some type of
You can't say that they did.
I actually can, depending on how deep we really
Okay, what is your evidence that the people that sold our ancestors onto slave ships had a deficiency? What is your evidence?
Okay, you're like I said, you're trying to control and steer the narrative. You're the only one talking about white people. I never said white people. You the only.
Okay, cool. Who are the people with melanin deficiency you were talking about?
I'm talking about everybody that is.
Wait, black people have melanin deficiency?
Right? Yes, vitamin D deficiency. I said vitamin D. I didn't say no. I said vitamin D.
Earlier you brought up melanin and made it a very key point of your argument that melanin and melanin deficiency was the reason why these people without it act the way they are and couldn't be good and are naturally evil and they are angry because of their lack of that. So I want to know, since you're saying that you're not talking about white people, who are these people who lack melanin deficiency that you're talking about that did all these evil? Can you tell us what race they belong to?
All of them. Black people, white people, Arabs, Chinese, everybody enslaved us. That's the conversation you really want to have.
No. I'm not talking about what I just said. I'm talking about earlier when you first brought, this is what I find so incredibly disingenuous about the guy. Everybody on the call knew. No. He even said, wait a minute. He even said earlier, this may be racist, but I'm going to say it anyway. But now all of a sudden he wasn't talking about a race. Like, how disingenuous can a dude be?
I'm talking about everybody. What are you talking about?
Okay, then. So why did you say?
Black people, Chinese.
I got you, bro. I know you want to defend your lies, but earlier you said this may be racist. And start talking about people who lack melanin. How could it? Wait a minute. No. Wait, bro. Let me finish real quick. Look, I know you got every time you get caught up in a lie, you do this. Every time. And it's crazy. So I want to know, how can it be racist if it's every race?
Easy, because people like you instantly, your mind went to white people. You said white people. I've never said that. Your mind instantly went to it. That's why I said it may be racist, because I know people like you have a mind.
My mind only went to it after you said it may be racist.
Instantly go to white people.
Hey, anybody can go back and look at this, and I recommend everybody do. You will not see me one time mention white people till after he said, brother, let me finish, bro. You won't hear me say it one time white people until after he says this may be racist. Because I kept hitting, wait a minute. I kept hitting to the fact, I got one more sentence and you got it, bro. I kept hitting to the fact that what he's saying wasn't making no sense. And then he came out and put it out on Front Street that what he's saying may be racist, but he's going to say it anyway. But then when I come in and make such a valid point about how people make bad decisions no matter what race they are, all of a sudden what he's saying may not be racist because he's talking about everyone. This is just blatant disingenuousness. But you got it, bro.
It might not be racist. I never said it might not be. I said, yo, this is crazy. I said it before. I said that specifically because people with your mindset, people like you instantly go to white people. You just now saying you didn't say white people until I said it might be racist. Thank you for proving my point. You're the one with the racist mind, and your mind went straight to it. Now,
why would you have to say that if you're not being racist?
That's what I got to say, bro. My whole point was that people who are deficient in things from the natural source of God always will always forever never be able to make
Who are these people?
a decision.
Who are these people who?
Everybody.
Okay, no, all right. So, got you. So black people lack melanin.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do, but they lack vitamin D. It's not just melanin. You get way more shit from the sun than just turning in black.
Okay, cool. I just asked one question. It was a yes or no question. Do Japanese people lack melanin?
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. No.
Yes, they do.
Okay, a lack.
White people are white because
Okay.
they don't have no melanin. Japanese people are fucking white. What are
Got
you
you.
talking
Got
about?
you. So if I show right now that white people do have melanin, will you take that back?
I know there's more than one form of melanin.
now he knows. Look how ridiculous this is.
We're trying to steer the conversation, but it's not going to work. You want me to believe?
Bro, you getting worked out. Bro, you getting cooked. You came up here to get cooked.
I believe that you did.
Hey, bro, you burnt at this point. I done cooked you so well done.
You keep talking about white people.
He charcoal burnt. Hey, JJ, let's get to the topic of our debate now, because right now, dude just lying endlessly.
A chemical imbalance because you can't even let me finish talking.
All right, can we get? So, what's the title we're gonna do for this debate? Cosmic Chris.
The electromagnetic spectrum is the closest thing to God.
That's what he want to do. So, we when I asked him about the electromagnetic spectrum, he started talking about melanin and shit. But okay.
Melanin is literally condensed sunlight.
So is God light?
Is God light? No, God would be a frequency.
A frequency, okay.
Yeah, electromagnetic spectrum is just different levels of frequency. It's a frequency.
So you believe God is within the universe? You believe God is within the universe, sir?
Within, I think God is the universe. I think God is in everything.
Oh, so you're a pantheist?
You can call me, you can label me whatever you want. I don't.
A pantheist just means God is all and all is God. That's all it means. Pan means all.
You can label me whatever you want. I'm here to tell my truth, and that's from my research. That's what I came across with.
Okay. Where did you get this idea that God is everything and everything is God?
Metaphysics and quantum physics.
Okay. Can you give me one scientific source that says God is electromagnetism or whatever you claim he is?
I can pull up something that probably supports my argument. I don't, like I said, I actually am smart. I actually use discernment. I don't just repeat what anybody can say. I actually compare articles. I actually compare books. I actually compare journals, and I cross-reference them and make sure that I got the right information. I'm not just
okay. So
just say something. I'm just going to regurgitate it.
Got you. So how did you come to this determination then?
Through quantum physics, from studying quantum physics and metaphysics.
Got you.
This energy is in everything and all around us, and everybody and everything on this planet and beyond.
Okay, so you say you studied metaphysics, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So in metaphysics, is God not the explanation for everything that exists, and he's separate from nature in metaphysics?
No, he's not separate, and it's not separate from nature in metaphysics.
Okay, so let me ask you this: so you believe that consciousness is a part of the physical world and not a separate reality from the physical world?
No, I think the physical world can experience consciousness, but it's not. No, I think the consciousness is a part of the physical world, and the subconscious is not.
Oh, wait. So wait a minute. How is? Wait a minute. That don't even make sense.
Yes, it does because the spiritual world governs the physical world.
Okay, watch this. Wait a minute. Okay, cool. Is the subconscious part of the mind?
No, technically, no. It's
Oh,
it's its
wow.
own sector. It's its own sector. What are you talking about?
Wow.
This wait a minute. The subconscious. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, look. All right, cool. All right, cool. I'm gonna make this statement. The consciousness is absolutely a part of the mind. The subconscious mind is the part of the mind that you don't realize is working, while the conscious mind is the part of the mind that you're fully aware of. The subconscious mind actually reacts first, then the conscious mind reacts. It's all part of the mind, though. And for him to sit here and say that the mind is part of the universe, but the subconscious mind is not part of the universe, makes no logical sense in any way, shape, and form of the use of mind. Okay?
How earlier you said that there was nothing before the Big Bang. That was before the Big Bang, the subconscious mind.
No, I don't believe there's nothing physical. The electromagnetic force is part of the physical world. I don't believe that there is anything physical. Say that again?
The subconscious mind is not physical. Oh, I'm a cook.
Neither is the conscious mind physical. Dr. David got you.
You cannot use your mind. So
okay, no, that's incorrect. I'm going to explain this as fundamentally as I can by using a computer and computer software to explain this. Right? The brain acts as computer hardware acts. Right? Computer hardware carries signals and everything it needs in order to allow the software to function appropriately, right? But the software and the hardware are two completely different things. The brain that we have is the hardware. The conscious mind is the software that operates up on it. But there is something called the hard problem of consciousness, which has an explanatory gap between science, what science can explain, and first-person experience. Because science speaks only in third-person terms, and because science only deals with objectivity, it cannot give an explanation for subjectivity, because it cannot give an explanation for individual experience. This is called the explanatory gap within the hard problem of consciousness. And what this highlights is that consciousness is not reducible to the physical world, which means that consciousness in and of itself must be something fundamental yet separate from the physical world. This is why you have some of the most profound academics leaving from what we considered the atheist concept of consciousness being an actual part of the physical world to something called panpsychism, where they view that everything has a degree of consciousness, in it, and that also consciousness is a separate fundamental part of reality. I am a dualist who fully accepts it, doesn't try to tie and intertwine the two. I fully accept the idea that consciousness is a separate fundamental part of reality. Dr. David Chalmers would agree with me. Dr. Alexander Proust would agree with me. Dr. Joshua Rasmussen would agree with me. I can name scholar after scholar after scholar that would agree with me on this.
Hey, Chris Cosby, now you might have, I don't know, man.
Nah, that's just y'all man's, bro. That's just y'all man's, and y'all gonna ride for him. He's 100% wrong. He's 100% wrong. You cannot be You cannot be brain dead and be conscious. If your hardware in your computer breaks, guess what? You can't use the computer no more. So I got a source for a Better Health Channel to tell you that once a person is dead, they have no chance of regaining consciousness. Once your brain is done, it's over. Not only that, you can be unconscious. Like, if you can, you can literally be unconscious and still be alive. So if you can be alive, your body can still be alive, and you be unconscious for a short amount of time. That means that the conscious is physical. The subconscious is not physical, but the conscious is physical because your body is. You know what I'm saying? You're here. Your body's here, but you're unconscious. So
Okay.
okay.
See.
Consciousness, and you can't do that if your brain, or what you call it, the hardware, is broken. If the hardware of your computer is broken, you can't use a computer. Come on, bro.
Got you. This right here shows why people should actually look at these concepts, because I'm pretty sure he never heard of the hard problem of consciousness before. So people should actually look into these concepts, because the whole purpose of this is to show that the mind is not reducible to any physical phenomenon, right? Just because something runs on the hardware, and that the hardware he's right, the hardware can go wrong, and it will cause it to behave erratically, right? Like if someone gets brain damage, right? Their conscious mind would have problems. But that doesn't get around the actual hard problem of consciousness itself, right? And that consciousness is a fundamental part of the world. This goes back to the quantum mechanics we were talking about earlier. I'm going to take it back there. When we talk about that singularity collapsing, and me speaking on the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics, which says the consciousness causes the collapse of the wave function. Now, this is before there's even a universe. This is before there is a Big Bang. This is what collapses the singularity to create the Big Bang. The mind, a conscious being, which means consciousness is fundamental to reality, and consciousness may be what brought rise to the physical world. So this is what I'm saying, why people have to actually study these concepts. He say he studies, he researched. Brother, go and study and research the hard problem of consciousness, what it proves, and the dilemma it faces for people like yourself who would sit here and be like, oh, well, it has to be on the physical body. People like yourself who will bring up quantum mechanics that's before the Big Bang, before any humans exist, where consciousness is required to collapse the wave function. And he will still say that somehow human beings are required for this consciousness before human beings ever exist. This makes no sense. This is why these scholars put forward concepts like panpsychism, where the consciousness is a fundamental part of the world, because consciousness is not reducible to any physical processes. It's not. First person experience ain't reduced, because they put forth things like this. Okay, if the mind is just computing, like what, people like himself would say, it's just computing information and stuff like that, then we shouldn't feel anything. We should be like AI robots or computers walking around here. But that's not true. We feel things. Like even when you see the color red gives you a feeling. It gives you an experience, right? And that's what separates us from robots. This is the issue, and why they can't make sentient AI, because of the hard problem of consciousness makes it virtually impossible for them to make real sentient AI systems.
See, even what you just said, like we see the color red, we feel like even the color red comes from the electromagnetic spectrum. All the colors come from
that has nothing to do with the hard problem of consciousness. You're conflating arguments.
It really does. It does, because it all comes back to the electromagnetic spectrum. No matter what we talk about, it's going to come back to that. We get our consciousness from that, from all of that. The Bible told you, I told you. I don't know what else you need.
Wait a minute. So before the Big Bang, when there was no electromagnetic force, we got it from the electromagnetic force before it was one. So before there was electromagnetic force, the consciousness caused the collapse of the wave function. That was the Big Bang. After the Big Bang comes the electromagnetic force. Yep. So before that, somehow he's saying that there's consciousness. Consciousness exists before the electromagnetic force, but it comes from the electromagnetic force. This is weird.
No. Consciousness is controlled by the subconscious. It's simple. The subconscious created all this. The subconscious is not physical. The conscious is. The conscious didn't come until the subconscious created.
Can you give us a source? He just makes up shit and then claims it's true.
No. Yes, I can, but we're having a debate. I wanted to set up the debate. Let's set up the debate.
The debate ain't on that topic though. Debate ain't on that topic. No, it ain't. You said that. Wait a minute.
Electromagnetic spectrum is the closest thing to God. What do you mean? I'm still on topic. I'm the only one staying on topic. Like I said, you don't get colors unless they come from the electromagnetic spectrum. The same thing he said that you're feeling. Yes, you are feeling things. You know why? Because all this stuff comes from the things that influence your chemicals basically in your body. You, like I said, it comes back to the electromagnetic spectrum. You will have a chemical imbalance if you do not live if you not live a certain type of lifestyle. He said we wouldn't feel pain. Guess what? There's people who don't feel pain. You know what a monk is? You know what a Buddhist monk is? You know what they're still out here. They actually live that lifestyle and they actually practice the things that I preach. And you can see them walking on fire, walking on glass, doing the craziest things a ninja would ever do. Shaolin monks and stuff like that. So if we actually took the things I was saying serious and wasn't just in the comments bidding, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Pittsburgh and all that. In PA, we call, you know what I'm saying, joking, we call it bidding. So if y'all just bidding on us or want to be bidding on me, that's fine. But if y'all, there's people like the Shaolin monks who actually take what I say, like the things I teach, and they put it into their actual lifestyle and they don't feel pain. Like you said, we shouldn't. We wouldn't feel pain.
I didn't say we shouldn't feel pain. That's a ridiculous notion. Even Shaolin monks feel pain. They have high tolerance for
people who don't feel pain.
Got you. They do. There are people who have certain deficiencies that don't, but Shaolin monks do feel pain. They just have an extremely high tolerance for it. But I want to read this real quick, and the source for this is WMAP. The source is actually NASA, but it's WMAP Big Bang CMB test, right? And it says the electromagnetic force is after the Big Bang. The Big Bang Theory posits the universe, including the electromagnetic spectrum, originated from a very hot, dense state 13.8 billion years ago. The electromagnetic spectrum is a fundamental property of the universe and emerged as a consequence of the Big Bang's expansion and cooling. This dude has lied at every step of the damn way. We already got a topic for debate. So I'm ready to go ahead and get this topic for debate going.
The date
or the debate going.
What's the date? Next week?
I can do it next week, bro. Just give me the time and date that he ready. Let me say one thing real quick before you do that. If it's during the weekdays, it has to be after 7 p.m. though.
That's fine. Give me like a Tuesday, Wednesday, give me a Tuesday or Wednesday, and I got you. Anytime.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it Wednesday, 7 p.m. then.
Okay, now how do I get you need to put your number in the back chat, man? Because I don't know where you at on Facebook.
I got you.
Put it in the
Cosmic Chris 9 on Instagram and all that. My YouTube is Frequency for the Future. But I'm gonna send you my number. So
yeah. These guys come over here and make these debates, and then I don't see them till a whole another year. That's what happened with Lex Forte.
That subconscious mind was before the Big Bang. You wouldn't got the Big Bang without the subconscious mind. You want anything to happen on this universe, you got to think it first before you manifest it. And that's what the universe did, is as above, so below. The subconscious mind manifested that electromagnetic spectrum, and that is what governs all.
Hey, this ain't no championship match or nothing, man. It won't be no
judge. It's an exhibition, but it's a good one.
It won't be no judge. You ain't got to worry about none of that.
I'm sending my number through right now. You want me to do some research? I want you to go do some research. You got what they call natural distribution or Gaussian distribution. That's how. That's the Big Bang. That's how everything happened. It's the electromagnetic spectrum being distributed throughout the planet. I'm not gonna give you too much, though. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Please do, because NASA already said that the electromagnetic force comes after the Big Bang. And I want to read one more thing. The subconscious. I'm gonna read. Hey, brother, look. You just said you ain't gonna give too much. Why you still arguing? Okay, let me know why you gotta interrupt me. You just said you wasn't gonna give too much. You was good, and now you gotta interrupt me when I start speaking. This is weird. Okay, and all I wanted to do, and the source for this is does the unconscious really exist? Psychology today, and it says the subconscious mind is considered part of the overall mind. I'm done with this shit. Like this dude will lie to you people all damn day for no reason.
And I got a source that differs, so it's cool. We just gonna go source for source. We just going to disagree.
Yeah, I got your number now. I see it. All right, let me picture that.
All right, well
this is my first time really coming in the Lions Den. I appreciate y'all, and I see y'all Wednesday on 7 because I'm ready. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna roll him over. It's over.
Yeah, he gonna roll me over just like he did today when he ended up rolling over and playing dead up in here. Hey, y'all go back and look. It was a whole 5-minute break of this boy being quiet, looking for sources to try to support all the BS he's saying. If I already knew when I was talking, I would already have sources on hand. You see how fast I grab my sources? It don't take me 5 minutes to go find one source to validate what I'm saying. It take me like 30 seconds.
And that's why you try to control the conversation and you wanted me to argue things that don't.
Because I know what I'm talking about and you don't. You need to go search 5 minutes for sources.
You didn't even try to get my theory on what we were talking about. You were asking me to prove things that you already had ready. White people, this and that.
What y'all doing? 3 10 or 3 15-minute rounds?
10. If it's 3, it's only gonna be 10.
Okay, 3 10-minute rounds. Okay, I'll do opening 3 10-minute rounds. Y'all get to rebuttal each other after each round. Okay, 3 minutes to rebuttal. We do it like that.
And okay, then, 3 minutes rebuttal after each round. All right, I can work with that.
And then after that, I want to ask 5 questions apiece, and then I'll close it. All right.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. In this debate, he's going to be proving that God is the electromagnetic force is the closest thing to God. That's what he's going to be proving in this debate. And I'm going to be proving that that's false, or I'm going to be refuting his claims.
Wait. Now, what's the title? I mean, one more time?
Hey, tell him the title again, bro, because you made it.
The electromagnetic spectrum is the closest thing to God.
Closest thing to God. So it's not God. You're not saying it's God, right?
Nah, I'm saying it's the closest thing that we got that's governing us.
Gotcha.
That governs all things, right?
All things. Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. Well, go ahead and make your final statements, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. It was a great show. Go ahead, Chris Cosman.
Well, I appreciate y'all. This was my first time in the Lions Den. I'll be mainly on Sonetta platform doing the debating, but I bring it anywhere. I want all the smoke from whoever want to give me the smoke. I know what's going to happen. Y'all just going to call me pseudo, but the day of the debate, I'm going to shut all that pseudo talk up, so it don't even matter.
You heard it here first. Go ahead, James.
Hey, and with that, I want to say I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Karima. Appreciate you, JJ, for throwing this together. I appreciate the brother Frequency for coming up because he really helped make this a good show. You know what I'm saying? A good conversation and stuff like that. You know, whether we agree or disagree, it's always good for us to get out here, present our information, argue our points and stuff like that. I want to say I got a lot of respect for the brother stepping up here and coming with his information and standing strong, because I know y'all know me. I could be aggressive. Sometimes I could be an asshole, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, you know, the brother was nice. He wasn't, you know, too over the top. And because of, you know, his decorum and him trying to make sure this is a good conversation, I think that's the main reason nothing really went left, because y'all know these conversations can go left bad real quick. But I think we had a good conversation. People were able to understand both our sides, and I'm just ready to get this debate on Wednesday.
All right. Well, before you go, are you letting Cedric off the hook? You got any final message for him?
Nah, I ain't letting Ced off the hook, man. He need to go ahead and defend that Lions Den debate league championship, man. You can't get out here and duck your responsibilities as a champion, bruh. And if you're not going to debate, then you need to go ahead and vacate so 2 other people can debate for it.
Ready to vacate, Cedric. You got 24 hours for a response, sir. All right. That being said, Creamer, let's get up out of here. And, man, thank y'all for hanging out. Man, make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe. We out.
I'll praise you, Most High. Yeah, that sound good, y'all. Hello. What we doing?
Hey, cook that up, Khalid.
We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. They said you got the call, they trying to blackball you. Like what they own, bro. You can't blackball a boss. The whole world, they hate Israel. The way you hate your neighbor, might as well pull the trigger on yourself. You know we get excited by the smoke. Every day we casting flesh. Say my treasure stored in heaven, we gon' blow the rest. They disrespecting and we check. The bait that causing kept it still. They asking others about my business, but I ain't got no instant miss. See, I still deal with ox direct. Cause your person don't mean you respect. Your outlet don't get no credit if the ox ain't in it. Money answer all things and you got all these questions. Playing Vic. Look, I employ slavery. I'll if you broke, just say it. Yo, them crews in the hood, Jews in the hood. I caught them clues, now I'm good. I broke it down, he understood my all to you. Filtered through, you found a few, I'm good. We what we sold, this here exclusive. They like, hey, folk, look what you doing. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. Most I told me, be still, give a room to work. Know my movie work. Your faith ain't good, don't put the work in. In the spirit flexing, that my day job. Getting the mode out my own, I don't know what they are. Before I got the blueprint, and I'm too legit to quit. Let it spark in the dark, be a light, got it lit. Trying to map my movement, got my haters pondering. The odds set the question there, they wanna know if you still lit. It hit different, you authentic, a lot of odds pretending. We do it for the Lord, got my own motion, who are you to judge? Put most high first, none above. In the spirit we locked in, they'll come against your plot. You know Judas said, yeah, we spit them scripts, they barely not. Came on slave ships, then you not black. You know they tell you everything. Isaiah 30:20, yeah, we bad. You see what happened when they tried to rail the train up off the track. False witness, hypocrite. We throw shots back, now they feel heat. Must go get it. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still.
Yeah! Lions is in the goddamn building. The Fugazi platforms, get out your. That's right. We out.